evening and welcome to Pinecrest Academy. I'm Ned Case alongside John Paul Hoover, and you're listening to Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV. John Paul, today we're here between the Pines, Pinecrest, their home opener. Kind of like what we saw last week. They're playing a 7A school, not quite the same 7A school that South Forsyth was last week. What do you expect to see here?
I expect to see a good chance for Pinecrest to win. You know, it's the mentality of the players to be playing a 7A school and still be playing a school that, hasn't been around that long. So it gives them a good chance to look good on paper and get a good win on the football field.
And we talked about last week, Pinecrest coming into the game 0-1. A tough loss to the South Forsyth team that went to the quarterfinals last year, a big-time program in the state of Georgia. But it almost makes you hungry losing that first game, and you expect Pinecrest to come out ready to play from that first whistle.
Definitely, it definitely wants to make them bounce back. They had some trouble last game. They didn't really get into the keys of the game that we were talking about before that game. They didn't really stop the pass. They did sometimes, not a very good job of it. Coach Winter said it himself. He made some questionable calls during the game, and they most certainly did not win the field position battle.
And that'll come back to hurt him, and that's something Coach Winter talked about when we talked to him this week. And Discovery comes into the game also winless, 0-2, being outscored 90-6 in their first two games. So just like Pinecrest, they're just as hungry for that win. But they're a program, it's their first year as a varsity level, played JV last year. And as Coach Winter said, they're still learning how to win at the moment.
They're definitely still learning how to win at the moment. That's kind of messes with their mentality so much. Imagine not winning a game and playing that JV schedule last year. When you're at that 7A level, the talent disparity between JV and varsity is so large. Yep. And I think that explains why they've gotten outscored 90-6 last two games.
And we're about 7 minutes away from kickoff here on Pinecrest Academy football here on SUV TV. Again, I'm Ned Case alongside John Paul Hoover. We're excited to get this game underway. We'll be back right after this quick break.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Hain Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Forsyth, dedicated to all better.
As a certified financial planner, Pinecrest Academy family member Bill Kiernan brings a professional certification that provides peace of mind that you will receive sound advice for your financial planning needs. Bill provides safe money strategies. Whether you're looking to participate in market gains or avoid costly money management fees to grow your wealth, Bill can provide support and guidance. Follow the lead of many of your friends at Pinecrest and call Bill at 678-776-4592 to learn what he can do for you. You can rest assured that following safe money strategies with Bill can provide the asset growth that you desire.
Number 20, Jack Osterling. Number 73.
Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12 college preparatory Catholic school. We provide an atmosphere of academic rigor and critical thinking while offering personalized attention in a Christ-centered environment of faith and reason. Call us today at 770-888-4477 to schedule a visit to Pinecrest or visit our website, www.pinecrestacademy.org, to learn more about our award-winning school.
Number 82.
Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12th grade Catholic school, and our mission is crystal clear: to form our students into Christian leaders who will transform society. The hallmark of a Pinecrest education is our recognition of each student as a unique child of God, with special gifts and talents. We believe that God is calling these young people to lead their families, their businesses, and their communities in accordance with His teachings. We welcome those from all faith backgrounds who value excellent education. Part of our Catholic identity is respect for the inquiry of the human mind. Pinecrest Academy's approach is called integral formation. Through this unique process, we address the whole child, intellectually, humanly, spiritually, and apostolically. We also refer to these as the 4 pillars. One thing that makes Pinecrest unique is that we have gender-separated classes that begin in the 4th grade. Research proves that boys and girls learn differently. In this gender-separate environment, students feel free to explore who they are and develop their full potential. Pinecrest wholly believes that you, the parent, are the primary educator of your child. We wish to work alongside you to form them into the adults that God desires them to be. Thank you for considering our school as a partner in the development of your gifts from God.
Welcome back between the pines here in Cumming, Georgia. We're at Pinecrest Academy, and as the captains meet here at midfield with the officials, let's go over the keys to the game presented by Bill Kernan, certified financial planner. And John Paul, a couple of these keys, Coach gave us this week in our meeting, and the first one we talked about was getting pressure on the quarterback. Discovery's a team that's going to throw the ball a lot. He said 65% of the time, so they really need to get some pressure from that defensive line.
Definitely need to get some pressure from the defensive line. Something they didn't get a lot of against South. That's going to be up to guys like Nolan Stafford, Stone Brown. Got to get through that line, put some pressure on the quarterback, and force some bad throws.
Offensively, they talked about some keys, really protecting the ball and avoiding penalties. Coach Winter said we were our own worst enemy last Friday night. They had 9 penalties, so that's something that they're really going to look to clean up on the offensive end today.
Definitely got to clean up some penalties, and you got to get some better execution. Especially this game, you got young guys like Hunter Hawk, who's going to see some playing time today thanks to injuries to the fullback position. Inexperience typically causes fumbles, so we got to make sure to keep control of that.
And the third key presented by Bill Kiernan, certified financial planner, is winning the kicking game and winning special teams. And when you talk about offense, defense, a lot of people forget that third phase of the game, the special teams. That's something Coach Winter really emphasized in his phone call with us this week.
Yeah, that's one of the things that college and NFL coaches always talk about, a complete football team. To win games, to win consistently, you got to be great in all phases of the game.
And as we go to our coach close-ups presented by Haynes Sports Medicine, first we're going to look at Pinecrest coach Todd Winter. Coach Winter's in his 5th season with the Paladins with a record of 27-16 after the loss last week. And you talked about it last week, these players, they'll run through a wall for Coach Winter. He's brought a lot of experience coming from the college game. I think it's been a really good thing for this Pinecrest football program.
Definitely a very good thing. Experience is always good, no matter where you are. If you're a player or a coach, experience is invaluable.
And Discovery head coach Ephraim Hill, he's in his first year, obviously the first year of the program having varsity. And Coach Hill played college football at Sanford and spent 8 years in the NFL and CFL playing wide receiver. So he's a guy that can really relate to the boys, as someone who's made it at the highest level, someone I imagine that they would respect and learn a lot from.
Yeah, definitely. Playing college football, you always hear those stories about the players who come back and coach high school football. Made for great stories and great coaches.
And as we get 12 minutes on the clock here, the Paladins ready to run through their blow-up, and the Discovery Titans ready to run through their paper. And this is the atmosphere you like. I walked in. This is my first time at Pinecrest for a football game, and you see all the tents and the tailgate in the parking lot in the end zone by the scoreboard. And it's a really cool scene. It's a smaller stadium, but it seems to be really unique, and it seems like a lot of the community's out here.
Oh, it's very unique. We're just a 1A school, but Pinecrest knows how to put on a tailgate, put on a show for the fans. It's such a great atmosphere. Everybody knows everybody. It's one big family. That's what it is.
And Pinecrest really looking to improve. We talked about it offensively, taking away penalties and not having turnovers. And as they come out of the smoke, they look excited, ready to play. But last week, they only mustered up 115 yards of offense and couldn't find a way into the end zone. They almost found a way in late, but just couldn't quite crack that South Forsyth defense. So I imagine that's a big thing, is getting an early possession, getting the ball rolling, and like you talked about, just remembering that you can get in the end zone. You can pick up those big chunk yardage.
It's definitely a big, and again, that mentality. Coach Winter talked about it this week. High school football is so emotional. It's not talent driven, it's emotion driven. So you got to get in that mental state of knowing we can score if you're going to do anything on offense.
And we see Pinecrest here getting excited down on the field. These boys, and they're all green, are ready to go. The student section is starting to file in. We got a red, white, and blue theme for America. Can't get enough of that as we're here on Labor Day. I know people are looking forward to their Monday off and getting a nice barbecue, but we got some Friday Night Lights first here, as it looks like Pinecrest is going to kick off to Discovery to start the game here. And Pinecrest did a pretty good job special teams-wise. They covered well on the kickoff, didn't give up any big returns. A couple punts kind of leaked through, but did a nice job covering the kicks last week.
Definitely a nice job covering the kicks, and it's one of those things that a lot of people overlook again, and it's just, you got to be focused on that because it really starts to drive.
And back deep for the Discovery Titans, it's number 4, Kobe Johnson, and number 6, Zaheem Brooks. We're in a little bit of a tight press box here, so we're dodging some heads, but we're going to get this down for you guys, and we're excited you guys joined us again this week. Had a little bit of a weather delay last week. Hopefully that's not the case this week as we get set to kick this one off. Ball on the 40-yard line here between the Pines and Cumming, Georgia. We're excited. A nice game time temperature of 79 degrees, just what the doctor ordered for the first Friday night in September. As getting set to kick it off is Stuart Jeans, the senior for Pinecrest.
Let's play some football.
Takes a little hop and gives it the right-footed boot, gets a nice piece of it. It'll be fielded at about the 7-yard line, right in the middle of the field, coming up, trying to find a room, but no room could be found. Nice tackle downfield. That was 21 on the tackle, Jack Binkley, the senior. Return for the Titans by Zaheem Brooks.
Nope, not much of a better way to start the game than that.
Keeping them inside the 20. That's kind of that hidden yardage coaches like to talk about, or excuse me. Yep, just inside the 20 at the 19. So this Paladin defense in their 4-3. Looking to get a stop here. They did a nice job forcing South Forsyth in 3rd and longs last week. Just couldn't quite find a way to get off the field.
And in football, it's all about finishing. You got to finish that drive, finish the drill, get them off the field.
So ball on the 18, 1st and 10. Quarterback Alexander Drazik in the backfield, and we're going to have the officials talking to the fans in the end zone by that tailgate I was talking about. So don't know if there was too much ruckus going on back there or what, but we look to be ready for play. So again, in the shotgun, one running back to his left. Quarterback is Alexander Drazik, the sophomore, and it's going to be handoff and stuffed. That ball went in the hands of number 37, Twain Reed, but he could not find any room as a host of Paladins were there to meet him.
Great start for the Paladin defense. We saw a similar start against South, so can you say much right now? I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
So a 2nd and 12 here for the Titans, looking to get something going. They're going to be in a pistol set with a running back to his right and running back behind him, fullback Quindez Dennis to the right. It's going to be a play action, getting pressure right in his face. Exactly what Coach Winter wanted. Pressure by number 22 there, Hunter Hawk, someone you talked about early, making an impact early in this game.
Making an impact, and he's just so young, and that's exactly what he needs to affirm himself that I can play on this level, I can play this position and really make a difference in this game.
Hunter Hawk, a freshman, 5'9", 180, good size for a freshman, but like you said about Discovery, that speed from JV to varsity is much quicker. I'm sure that speed from middle school to varsity is a lot quicker. So a 3rd and 12 here for the Paladins, looking to get off the field. Drop back, more pressure right in his face. He's going to be taken down. Looks like that was 52 on the play. Nolan Stafford, the junior, making a big-time play here early for the Paladins.
That's something we see in this game and that we were missing during South. Finishing on 3rd down, get him off the field, and now their offense looks like they're going to have some decent field position to start out the game.
So the first key to the game we talked about, getting that pressure. Discovery team's going to throw the ball a lot, and a sack and a pressure early in the game, really what Coach Winter wanted. So punt formation back deep, it's Carson Holler, and it's off the side of the foot. The ball's going to roll out of bounds right at about the 40-yard line. So the Paladins will start in positive territory, 40 yards to go. A nice short field, just what Coach Winter wants to really get the ball rolling here.
Definitely. He cannot stress enough to us during those interviews. Field position, field position, field position. It's like it's like skipping steps on a staircase. It's so important in games like this.
And Ryan McCarthy, the Citadel commit, will lead this Paladin offense at quarterback. Last year rushed for just nearly 1,300 yards and 22 touchdowns, which was for 7.5 yards per carry. Exactly what you want out of your quarterback in this triple option look that we're going to see as Holler shows a little fake motion. And they'll reset. McCarthy looking to the sideline to get the call here. And it's going to be Barroza's coming. McCarthy going to keep it, finds a little room to the 35, to the 30, and a nice tackle, but not wrapped up. McCarthy finds some more room, and a good hard run there by McCarthy, making the first tackler miss and getting first down yardage.
And that right there is the difference between a triple option quarterback and any other quarterback. Taking the hits and running right through it. It's incredible.
McCarthy, we'll see him all over the field tonight. He'll play linebacker, he'll punt, and hopefully we'll see him in the end zone a handful of times here for the Paladins as they get a first down of their first play. Ball on the 27-yard line, 10:25 on the clock. It'll be Brooks Binkley in the fullback spot, or the B-back as they like to call it in this triple option. Number 5, Barroza's number 4, Holler will be the A-backs. Using their speed to get to the outside. It's going to be a give to Binkley. Not a lot of room. And nice job there by Discovery clogging up the middle of the field.
And talking about Ryan McCarthy committing to Citadel, you got to wonder about his mentality. What is he thinking? He has to focus on this season with this team. It's where he started. But then you look at he's going to be in a much bigger stage next season. Is he thinking about that? He's got to keep his thoughts under control. And he's got to focus on winning this season.
No doubt. So the gain of 1 there, it'll bring up 2nd and 9. 2 receivers split out for McCarthy. He was 0 for 4 passing the ball last week. Couldn't find a target, looking for his first completion of the year. But I'm sure they'll keep it with the steady run, and it's going to be another hand off to Binkley. And looked like a gain of another 2 yards, so that'll bring up a 3rd and manageable for this triple option.
Third downs we saw during the South game last week had a lot of long third downs, and that's a recipe for disaster with the triple option offense. You're hardly ever going to convert those if you have more than 8 to 10 yards to gain.
So 3rd and 7 here from the 24-yard line for the Paladins. Looking over the sideline to get a call from the coaching staff. They're going to get down, get set, and Holler's going to come in motion, come back, pitch out wide. It's Barroza's. He's got a room. He's going to be a little bit short of the first down sticks, but a flag comes in on the play. See if they'll get an illegal motion, and there's those penalties, that coach talked about, especially one like illegal motion. That's not even a physical. That's not a blocking or a mistake. That's something that you practice every week, and your timing's off. That really hurts.
It's one of those careless mistakes. It's like taking a test in school and you get a question wrong, and it's like, I knew that answer, but I just got it wrong. These football games are tests, and you can't make careless mistakes like that, especially when you had so much momentum going.
Very well put. So that'll back them up to 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 12. And just like you talked about, this is a situation they got themselves in last week, really got themselves in trouble. There's not a lot of 3rd and 12 plays in the playbook. Last week when they did pass, struggled to block on the offensive line. So let's see if this Paladin offensive line looks stronger today if they go to the pass. And it is going to be, it's a draw play to Binkley, and nice tackle there. That was number 56 for the Discovery Titans.
That's going to bring up 4th down for the Paladins.
And it'll be 4th down for Coach Winter. And we didn't see a field goal attempt last week. Doesn't look like he has any plans to send the kicker on.
We got an inexperienced kicker. It's a new thing for him. You got to make sure you can get it during practice before you put him on a big stage like this.
So it'll be 4th and 11 for the Paladins. Ball on the 28-yard line. Need to get to about the 17 for a first down here. McCarthy under center, looking at the sideline. Let's see if they try to draw him off sides. That's something they did last week against South. Had some success with. Make this a more manageable 4th down, and it'll be a drop back pass. McCarthy, he's got some time briefly, and he's going to be wrapped up. Makes one man miss. He's going to be stopped short of the first down. Turnover on down. Pressure there by number 99, Trinavak Makula.
Interesting call by Coach Winter there, but first quarter against another 7A school, why not?
Looked like they were trying to get Jack Binkley on a go route there down the near sideline, but couldn't get open, and just not enough time. Again, that offensive line, they preach the run blocking in this triple, but you need to be able to pass block for situations like that.
definitely need pass blocking. O-line is such a key part of football, and a lot of people say they don't get much respect, but they're one of the most important components on the field.
So the Discovery Titans offense will take the field for the second time today. Alexander Drazik back at quarterback. He's got a running back to each side. It's going to be a handoff and finds a little bit of room, and 32 on the carry for the Titans. That was Mikkel Reynolds. Reynolds found the end zone last week for Discovery, scoring their first varsity touchdown, which is definitely a cool thing for that program and for Mikkel.
Definitely a cool thing, and for the players, the coaches, the administration at that school, it's a benchmark. It's a big step for the program.
And we're going to get a Wildcat look here out of Discovery as they're a little confusion. A guy's coming on the field late, and Coach Winter thinks that should be a penalty, but nothing's going to be called for the late, and a really late, so looks like Discovery's going to use a timeout. They were confusing the heck out of themselves, so with that, we'll take a timeout with them and give you a quick read. As a certified financial planner, Pinecrest Academy family member Bill Kiernan brings the professional certification that provides peace of mind that you will receive sound advice for your financial planning needs. Bill provides safe money strategies, whether you're looking to participate in market gains or avoid costly money management fees to grow your wealth. Bill can provide support and guidance. Follow the lead of many of your friends at Pinecrest and call Bill at 678-776-4592 to learn what he can do for you. You can rest assured that following safe money strategies with Bill can provide the asset growth you desire. And so we're back here with the Wildcat look. Still some confusion looking to the sideline. 5 receivers out wide. Quarterback in the backfield, number 5, who we don't have on a roster up here. We'll do our best to find out who that is. And nice run there on a quarterback keeper. That's going to get a first down up to the 37-yard line.
With that Wildcat look, saw some confusion before the play. Look, when you're a coach, at the end of the day, you're dealing with teenagers here. They're not going to be able to get all those plays in their mind. Sometimes maybe a little confusion that we saw there.
So Drazik back at quarterback now for the Titans. First down, their first down of the game, so they're going to try to get some momentum here. And it's going to be a handoff back to Mikkel Reynolds. He finds a little room, stays on his feet up across the 50 down to about the 48-yard line, 47-yard line as they move into plus territory for the first time.
And we see them running the ball a lot. Coach Winter talking about expecting pass plays. Maybe this is why. Maybe this is why they're driving down the field. Defense expecting pass and getting a lot of runs here in the beginning of the game.
So back-to-back first downs here for this Discovery offense, trying to get a roll. As we mentioned, only 6 points scored, 1 touchdown in 2 games this year. So just like we talked about Pinecrest looking for that momentum early to get in the end zone, you know Discovery's doing the same.
Definitely.
So shotgun here. It's going to be right back to Reynolds, and he's going to be met first there by Brooks Binkley, but he's going to stumble forward for a gain of about 6 yards.
Nice play by number 32, Mikkel Reynolds, as he picks up about 4 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
So here we go. Discovery going quick. Shotgun again. Pistol formation. Reynolds right behind Drazik for the Titans. Drazik's going to throw. Pass is tipped, and that looked like McCarthy got his hands on that. We talked about him making plays all over the field today.
Definitely making plays all over the field. That's another thing that colleges look at. They want to see that you can do multiple things. In the NFL, they're talking about the preseason. The more things you can do on a team, the better your odds of staying on the squad and keeping your job. So Ryan doing that, very talented football player, can play all over the field.
So it'll bring up a 3rd and 6. 0 for 1 on 3rd down so far is Discovery. They'll see if they can get one here. Got to get up to the 36-yard line. It's going to be a rollout. Getting chased from behind by McCarthy. Dumps it over the head of Reynolds, and a flag comes in late. Let's see what we're going to get here. It could be a late hit as the quarterback ended up on his face. McCarthy was chasing him from behind, and that is what they're going to call a roughing the passer on Ryan McCarthy, and that's a little quarterback on quarterback crime right there.
Quarterback on quarterback crime. Maybe just sending the message, you give it the penalty, not a good thing to do. But
right.
But it's just never know what you're going to expect from Ryan.
So that penalty on McCarthy, he did a great job pressuring, just hit him a little too late after the throw, and that really hurts. We talked about getting off the field on third down last week. They really couldn't do it. Here they have a chance to, and forcing incompletion, penalty gives it to them. And you know those are the penalties Coach Winter really struggles to live with.
And especially on the Pinecrest side of the 50, it's a very, very influential penalty.
So Drazik at quarterback, he hands it right back off to Reynolds, makes a couple-man miss, tries to get to the outside, finds a little block from his receiver, and he's going to be wrapped up there by Daniel Duke and the freshman Hunter Hawk.
Again, freshman Hunter Hawk getting some more playing time in this game, getting some experience, makes the future look promising.
Ball now just inside the 22-yard line of the Paladins.
So 2nd and 4 here for Discovery. Offense trying to find the end zone. Alexander's going to hand it off to the outside, trying to find some room, cut under. Nice tackle there by Addison Ale, cutting him underneath, but again, a flag comes in late. That handoff was to 37, Twain Reed. And this one's going to go against the Titans. They're going to get a hold on him.
That's good for the Paladins. Hey, I don't know about you, but I want to hear some noise out of this student section right here. This offense sitting right in front of them. Let's get it going here. A home crowd opening home game.
The student section needs to bring that energy to the field. Last week, Daniel Duke had a big interception. Another turnover like that certainly would bring that excitement to this to the student section and to the sideline. But a 2nd and 17 gives the Paladins hope to get off the field here quick. As Drazik is in the shotgun, he's got one running back to his right, 2 receivers to his left, and 1 split out to his right. Signaling. And he's going to drop back, 3-step drop, steps up, and his arm was tipped but caught.
Looks like he'd be right at the first down marker.
And they're going to mark just about 2 yards short, but tough there, Discovery. Getting a big chunk of yards there. That was, Coach Warner talked about, they gave up 2 plays of 55-plus yards last week. Chunk plays are something this defense really needs to cut down on.
You really need to cut down. Definitely something you never want to see. But a play like that, nothing you can really do about that. Just tip drill, anything could happen.
So 3rd and 2 here. It's going to be a little option play there. Got me fooled, but good job there by the Paladins defense of not getting fooled, and it'll force a 4th down.
Paladins defense knows what it's like to get fooled during practice playing against a triple option offense every day. You'd think they wouldn't be very gullible at this point.
Good job there of assignment football. So a 4th and 3. Drazik in the gun, running back to his right. Twins to his left, single receiver to his right. It's going to be motion. It's going to go to the running back, Reynolds, and he is stuffed there in the middle of the field. Looked like that was number 25, Brooks Bingley, and number 81, Wills Brown. Big time stop by the defensive line of the Paladins there.
You see that sideline getting fired up. That gets offense, defense, special teams, cheerleaders. Everybody gets fired up with that kind of play.
So back-to-back drive, stopped on downs. First by the Titan defense, now by the Paladin defense. McCarthy's out here ready to lead his boys on a nice long drive, nice 81-yard drive, chew up some clock. Triple option football at its finest, you gotta love it. So the first play of hopefully the 78-yard scoring touchdown drive right here is McCarthy's going to be under center. It's going to be a triple. He's going to pitch it out to Holler, finds a little room, and he's going to gain about 5 or 6 yards. But those are the kind of small chunk yardage play that the triple option offense needs.
That is gold to Coach Winter. If he get that play every play, the entire game, win every game. But it's going to be really important for this offense to score their first touchdown, get that in the books.
Back in the triple option look. Mickey Mangan, the only receiver, split out to the right. McCarthy under center. Barroza is going to come in motion, and a fumble on the play. And those are the turnovers that Coach Winter cannot live with. And Discovery is going to jump on it. Short field here for the Titan offense as they're going to try to punch in the first touchdown of the game.
Yeah, tough for Pinecrest, but this is what's great about high school football. In the NFL, you're not going to see guys jumping up, going crazy like that. This raw emotion is just, it's an awesome feeling.
And you saw it on the replay there, just right in the middle of the field. There's so much going on, and if that handoff is fumbled a little bit. There's so many defenders that can there and just jump right on the ball.
So many defenders definitely have a lot of opportunities for change in this game on both offenses.
So back onto the field comes this Titan offense. 3:27 remaining in the first quarter. 0-0 running on the field late. It's number 19, Corey Jackson. So it's going to be 5 wide receivers, single back in the backfield. It's number 5, still working on getting a name for that, and that's going to be a false start on the offense there, as a little excited to get his block was Quindez Dennis.
A little excited. Coach Winter talked about on his offense. Penalties are not acceptable anytime. We asked about it during the week. We said, if they're to be expected at the beginning of the season, he said, no penalties are ever accepted or expected. They're just bad. You never want penalties.
And 9 last week really hurt the Paladin offense from getting any energy going. That penalty, though, benefits the Paladins as it brings up a 1st and 15 ball on the 32. Drazik in the gun. Running back to his right, 3 receivers to his left. It's going to be a handoff to Reynolds looking for a little room, and he is dragged down there by 22. Hunter Hawk getting his name called a lot here early in the game.
Definitely great thing for him, that mentality, getting used to playing on this level, and it's a good thing for Coach Winter, knowing that he can count on a player like that young.
And it looks like another penalty on Pinecrest. They're going to get him for a face mask. So that'll be more free yards for this Titan offense. And this Paladin defense doing a good job of playing, maybe 2 or 3 good downs in a row, but they just can't quite string together 3 or 4 really good defensive plays and get 3 and outs and get off the field quickly.
And I think throughout the season that will come with experience, knowing the situations, knowing what to do in what situation, and being comfortable doing that, being confident.
Drazik in the gun, drops back, looking to his right, got a man downfield, one-on-one. McCarthy in coverage, does a great job breaking that pass up. McCarthy, the linebacker, doing a really nice job in coverage.
Fantastic. You saw some of that vertical he has. He did some camps during recruiting, and you can see just how high he gets off the field. Basketball player, and sometimes you see him during recess dunking on the goal and stuff. One of the few people at Pinecrest that actually do that.
Does a really nice job high pointing the football there and knocking it away. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 4. McCarthy making some plays on the defensive end here. Already had a tip pass, now breaks one up. So Drazik in the gun. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Single running back. We've seen this a lot. Paladins looking to get pressure on this offense that likes to pass it a lot, but a handoff again. Reynolds finds a little bit of a hole and missed tackle. He's going to find his way into the end zone. Mikael Reynolds, his 2nd touchdown of the year. 6-0 Discovery here in the first quarter.
You see that acceleration from him. You miss 1 tackle and he's going to make you pay for it.
So we talked about it. Mikael Reynolds last week had his first rushing touchdown of the year, first rushing touchdown in Discovery history, and he finds the end zone for the 2nd time this year, as the extra point will be off the left foot of Drazik, the quarterback, who, if I'm not mistaken, throws right-handed, but looks like kicks left-footed.
Certainly an interesting skill set.
But it is up. So with 3:02 on the clock here in the first quarter, Discovery getting on the board first with a touchdown after a fumble by the Paladins, giving them a short field to work with. Defense did a nice job, forcing a turnover on down. 2nd play of that drive, you give it right back.
You're right back, and you don't want a repeat of South Forsyth. And thankfully, these players have played that game, and they know what it's like to feel like that. They know they definitely don't want to feel that again. They've had a whole week to think about how they could prevent that from happening again.
And last week we talked about the continuity of this senior group, a big group that's played together, found success. facing some adversity, you know, a tough week last week. Now you're down to start this game. How do you react? Who are your leaders? Who's going to step up and make a big-time play for your team?
I'm looking at Ryan McCarthy, Carson Holler, even Addy Ale. This is what being a leader is all about. If you just had good results every game, you can never have a chance to prove yourself. This is what it's about. Be a leader, get your team on track, and get some wins.
And Carson Holler, one of the players you just mentioned, is back deep to return this kick. He's standing with his toe on the 10-yard line. Barroza's a few steps back on the left hash. And it's going to be a left-footed, a little bit of a pooch kick. And is it going to be, oh, two Paladins run into each other. And that is going to be a loose ball. Let's see who dove on it. Looks like Brooks Binkley was calling for a fair catch, and Alan Yadov was going back for it. Should have just found a man to block in front of him, but the Paladins do jump on it to save themselves a possession.
You see Alan there, a little bit confused, getting some talk from the coach, and that's got to be tough on him, you know, to make not necessarily a mistake, but just an accident, just to happen to mess up the play a little bit.
And in situations like that, it seems it's a lot like in baseball, right? If the outfielder's coming in and the infielder's backpedaling, he calls him off. Same kind of play there. Allen, a frontline guy, dropping back. He should have let it for the guy who was running, coming up forward, but no foul, and good starting field position here for the Paladins on the 35. And another fumble on the snap, but McCarthy picks it up and falls backwards. That's a loss of 2, and this Paladin offense still needing to find that rhythm, still needing a big play to really break it and give them that confidence that we talked about and getting that emotion back.
That emotion, just so important. They're really just running in place right now. They got to get something going. I'm sure Coach Winter said that a great week of practice, but if that doesn't translate onto the football field, that it's meaningless. The players aren't going to learn anything from practice if they can't score on the field.
And you mentioned it, Coach Winter said this was the best Monday practice they've had all year. It's going to be hands off to Binkley as he's going to crawl forward for a few yards, get out to about the 38-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and 8 here for the Paladins. Again, these 3rd and 8 situations, not what you want in the triple.
Definitely not what you want. It's just, it almost seems routine now, and you got to get going if you're this offense. We keep saying it over and over, but really there's nothing else much to do but to get your tires gripping the road and get some points on the board.
So if we get a pass play here, let's see if McCarthy looks for Holler. Holler led the team in receptions last year, including a touchdown reception. McCarthy's rolling to his right, and he breaks one tackle, makes a couple man miss, is buying himself some time. Let's see if he can find anybody downfield, makes another man miss, and he's going to smartly just throw it away. McCarthy looking very athletic back there, just couldn't find anybody downfield. Nice coverage by that Discovery back end.
Very athletic, and that kind of reminded me, if I don't remember, Johnny Manziel in college. Yeah. Running around in circles. Only difference is Johnny he might just throw it up and actually complete that pass. You never know. But Ryan's certainly one of the most athletic players on this field, if not the most.
And Ryan, nice play there to just throw it away. You know, you tried to make a play happen, made a couple guys miss. Instead of trying to make something crazy happen, just throw it away, live to fight another down. And here's this possession battle we talked about. So hopefully a good punt can pin this Titan offense back deep.
Definitely. We see plenty of times at all levels of football, quarterbacks just trying to make something happen. And this.
Oh, it's a fake, and it's Corey Downs downfield at the 40, down to the 35. He's dragged down. That was snapped to the up back. Number 17, Mickey Mangan, and he found Corey Downs wide open in the middle of the field. Great call there by Coach Winter. That's how you get that emotion, that energy back.
That's a great call.
And we see it here on the replay. Wide open is Downs. Mangan just puts the ball right to where it needs to go. Perfectly executed. That's something that they've probably done in practice since the beginning of two-a-days and finally get to use it.
Oh, definitely. And Mangan, not starting. That's one of the only passes he's going to get to make, and he's got to be proud of that one.
So new life breathed into this offense as McCarthy's under center, ball at the 35-yard line. And another fumble picked up by Binkley. And this Paladin offense just can't quite get the grips on the ball. Looks like someone put some butter on it.
Yeah, it's definitely having some trouble here, but somehow still making their way down the field.
And, it's tough in that triple option, that read to the fullback right away. That fullback just 3 yards behind you. So as soon as you get that ball from the center, he's going to be right there. So if that snap's a little slow, it's going to mess up that handoff. So everything's got to work perfectly like you talked about.
Exactly. So much room for error on this offense. But when it goes right, it's almost unstoppable.
And McCarthy trying to get it to go right here as it's going to be a give to the fullback. Hunter Hawk making plays, cut under. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short, and this is the kind of 3rd downs this offense wants.
Hunter Hawk, again, making plays. To see 3 more years of this, it's looking good for this program.
So a 3rd and 3, and this is a 3rd down where you would expect this to be 2-down territory with an inexperienced kicker and just the way the triple option is run. That's what we see a lot, and we're going to get a timeout on the field here. And as we get a timeout, we get a little time to talk about last week was a struggle for this Paladin team in general. You know, they were in the game early, and Coach Winter talked about it this week. You know, it was the interception they had, and they had a chance to score, and they couldn't quite get it, and then they had the safety that kind of took all the wind out of the sail. And it seems like so far, at least, even though Discovery got on the board early, the wind hasn't come out of the sails of this Paladin group.
No, it's one of those things, and especially since you've only played 1 game in the season, and you know that you can start a drive great. You can start a defensive possession great. It's all about finishing, those finishing touches. But they got the hard part done. They can get things going.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Payne Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Foresight, dedicated to all better.
All right, 3rd and 3 for the Paladins.
And we're back here between the Pines. 3rd and 3 for this Paladin offense, looking to get on the board for the first time this year. It's going to be a handoff. It's Hunter Hawk, finds the roof, makes a man miss, down to the 30, dragged down about the 26-yard line, and another big-time run there by Hunter Hawk.
It's wearing down that defense, play by play, looking great so far. And they're finally getting some consistency on offense.
So a first down here for the offense. 11:52 on the clock and running. Ball on the 15, 1st and 10 here for the Paladins. And it's going to be McCarthy under center. Going to be a triple option to the near sideline, hand off to Hunter Hawk, but he is met there by the defensive line there for Discovery. First hit was by number 54, Jarek Perkins. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for this Paladin offense. It's going to be Hawk again at the fullback, Baroses and Holler in the A-back spots. McCarthy under center. It's going to be a keeper by McCarthy. Finds a little bit of room, gets upfield, and he's going to be wrapped up at about the 10-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and just about 4 here for this Paladin offense. And these are the kind of 3rd downs that you like as a triple option offense.
Definitely much better position. And Paladins using every advantage of this triple option. They're running with their quarterback, their fullback, pitching it out, working great into the 2nd quarter here.
And we've seen a couple pitches, but it seems like if McCarthy gets to the outside, whoever the linebacker with him responsibility is getting there late, and he's doing a nice job keeping it and just turning upfield.
Oh, definitely. He's running over guys, too. He's not afraid to take a hit.
Yeah, certainly McCarthy, no small player at 6'3", 200 pounds, and he's going to give it off to the freshman Hawk, and he's going to get right to about the 1st down mark. Let's see where they spot the ball. And looks like they're going to give him the 1st down. So bring up a 1st and goal here from just about the 5-yard line. Hunter Hawk really making an impact on this drive.
Really making an impact on this drive. This Paladins offense first and goal is something they really haven't seen this season. Great experience for them.
And again, this drive coming off the fake punt. Great call by Coach Winter. As Corey Downs caught a pass and had a big catch and run from Mickey Mangan. And now McCarthy in this offense will try to punch the Paladins in to even this game up at 7. So a tight formation, nobody split out wide. Downs as the receiver coming in and a stand up. It's going to be McCarthy. He's going to keep it, outrun one man, and he's going to coast into the end zone. Touchdown, Paladins. First of the year, first of many, I'm sure, John Paul.
One can only hope first of many, and I would say it's about time for this offense. And you saw Ryan, you said coasting into the end zone. You got to be careful. Took a little hit at the end there, but great score.
So now the extra point. It'll be off the foot of Stuart Jeans.
Hanging in for the hold, number 12, Stuart Jeans on for the kick.
Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. Stuart Jeans punches it right through to even this game up at 7.
That's exactly.
As a certified financial planner, Pinecrest Academy family member Bill Kiernan brings the professional certification that provides peace of mind that you will receive sound advice for your financial planning needs. Bill provides safe money strategies. Whether you're looking to participate in market gains or avoid costly money management fees to grow your wealth, Bill can provide support and guidance. Follow the lead of many of your friends at Pinecrest and call Bill at 678-776-4592 to learn what he can do for you. You can rest assured that following safe money strategies with Bill can provide the asset growth you desire. And we're back here between the pines as Miley Cyrus comes off the speakers, and much of the chagrin of John Paul, who was busting out some nice dance move up here in the press box. I'm Ned Case alongside John Paul Hoover. We're here between the pines at Pinecrest Academy. Thanks for tuning in to Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV. Stuart Jeans with a nice high kick. Ball will be fielded out about the 12. Makes one man miss. Middle of the field to the 40. He's going to try to get to the sideline. He's going to be knocked out by the kicker. Nice return there by the Titans. That was number 4, Kobe Johnson, the sophomore.
That's one of those things, even if you're a new school like Discovery is, talent. They got so much talent, and little things like that can make you pay if you're Pinecrest. You got to be disciplined. You got to stay in your lanes on those kickoffs. You got to make a tackle.
So big time return as the middle of the field just opened right up, and Discovery will start this drive in plus territory with the ball on the 47-yard line. So this Pinecrest defense, big time to make a stand here. Go 3 and out. It'll give you a long field to work with, but you just made a nice long drive downfield. This offense has some confidence. Try to get that ball back to him as quick as you can.
Definitely very important. And again, that emotion coming back into play, not talent driven, it's emotion. You got to get that mentality knowing that you can make a long drive down the field.
It's going to be Drazik again in the gun. He's going to hand it to Reynolds, and Reynolds bounces to the left, finds some room. He's out to the 40 and dragged down at the 39. Nice tackle by Corey Downs. And Coach Winter, he mentioned it. This is a team that throws the ball a lot. They got to get pressure. Well, Discovery's found some success running the ball, and especially with Mikel Reynolds. So now as Pinecrest, you really have to adjust.
You really have to adjust, and even though you're not at halftime usually the big spot for adjustments, you got to be able to go back in the sidelines and look and say, okay, they're running it more. So put some more run defense, but you still got to watch out for the pass plays.
Drazik again to Reynolds, and he is dragged down on the play. Looks like that was 62. Alan Yadav, who we mentioned earlier, kind of making a play, backpedaling, trying to field a pass, but a nice tackle there, and Carson Holler came and cleaned that one up.
Definitely clean it up. And if you're Reynolds, if I were you, I would get down. If you're down by your knees and guys are going for kill shots, you got to be careful with yourself. We're going to play the rest of the season.
So 3rd and 4 here for the Titans. Possibly a passing situation. McCarthy here on the near side, lined up as a defensive end. Let's see if he can get some pressure. Already had some earlier in the game with a quarterback knockdown and a tip pass. Drazik's in the gun. He's got Reynolds to his left, and Discovery is going to call another timeout.
Titans with 7:57 remaining. 7-7 on the board.
So
if you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning. And every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford with 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage. Plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford Certified Pre-Owned, a car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax, it's covered.
welcome back to Pinecrest Academy football here on SUV TV. I'm Ned Case alongside John Paul Hoover. 3rd and 4 here for Discovery. Pressure off the edge. McCarthy gets a hand in the passing lane and then cleaned up by Hunter Hawk. Pass intended for Reynolds. Incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 4.
On the blitz.
McCarthy impacting this game on the defensive end earlier. Obviously, as a quarterback, you're going to impact the game there, but to impact it this way, I think really kind of brings an energy to this team.
It definitely brings an energy to see a quarterback who's committed to Citadel to play one position and then still bringing it on defense. And it's got to be get this boost in that energy, that defense.
So 4th and 4 here. Chance for this Paladin defense to get the ball back to the offense. It's going to be shotgun for the Titans. Going to roll to his right, pressure right in his face. He's going to be brought down. That was number 55 for the Paladins, Stone Brown, the sophomore. Big time play there, giving the ball right back to this Paladin offense.
Oh, definitely. Stone Brown, one of the biggest guys in this team. Way to make a play, get through that line. You know, not just a little hit that quarterback.
Yeah, Drazik really had no time, caught the ball in the shotgun, took about one quick look downfield and had pressure right in his face. So good job there by the Paladin defense. Now this offense found the end zone once. Hopefully they get this confidence going. Really need to work on the fullback-quarterback exchange here, holding on to the ball.
Definitely such an important part. It's the first part of this besides the snap. You got to get that handoff right.
So a tight formation here as Downs is in as a tight end. It's going to be McCarthy, and again, that handoff looked like it was a little bit of miscommunication there as McCarthy seemed to hold the ball long as he gave it off to, not sure who that was on the carry, excuse me.
That's interesting, and you would expect that handoff would be crisp, that timing, but even by this point in the season, you've been practicing for a solid month and a half now. And Ryan's a senior. You got to get that handoff right. Maybe it's the fact that he's not with his usual fullback, or the timing could be off between the two of them.
Very good point. A lot of rotating parts in for this Paladin offense. Barroza's going to come in motion, and a penalty here. Let's see what they're going to get. Looks like they motioned a false start, and it is. So again, this Paladin offense hurting themselves with penalties. 9 last week, something Coach Winter really wanted to cut down on.
Definitely cut out on those penalties. If you ever want to get up in this triple option offense, like I mentioned last week against South, you got to score early. Because if you get down multiple touchdowns, 3-4 touchdowns, you have little to no chance of winning.
So 2nd and 16 here for the Paladins, and the officials have given a sideline warning to Discovery. So the next one will be a flag. Certainly something you don't want early in the game if you're the Discovery coaching staff, something you got to be mindful of. You need that Mon back coach really being active on the sideline there. And it's going to be a little bit of a counter play. It's going to be Carson Allen. He's down to room. He's to the 40, to the 35, to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Paladins. Carson Holler broke through, and he would not be caught as the Paladins take their first lead of the season.
What a great play. Look, the whole sideline's migrating down to congratulate the team. That is a senior play. That's what a senior does. Make the long run, get in the end zone, fire of the team. Crowd's going crazy, everybody's going crazy. This is exactly what you need.
Carson Holler broke free at about the 40. It didn't look like anybody was going to be able to catch him, and he turned on the Jets, and there was no shot for anybody chasing. So now Stuart Jeans will come on for the extra point, 1 for 1 on the day. That one is good to make it 14-7. Carson Holler with a big-time touchdown run
Here in the second quarter, the Paladins on top 14-7.
for the Paladins. And here's that emotion that Coach Winter talked about this weekend, and now you got the lead and the emotion and the energy, and defense made a big-time stand to get the ball back to the offense, and the offense converted. So this is where that momentum really swings.
That momentum, and you guys are probably getting sick of us saying emotion, but it's just such a critical part of the game. The crowd and the team, they're friends. They want to see him cheering him on and stuff, and that long run by Holler, it's the triple option offense, you never expect that, so it's almost like a bonus. And when you get that bonus, it fires everybody up, gets a lot of confidence.
You talk about that bonus. Usually it's kind of a chip and grind kind of offense, 3-4 yards, maybe 7 or 8, but you get a 50-plus yard run, and that's going to bring that energy and quick score right there. So that's where that momentum really comes, right? You score right after you get that turnover.
Right after you get a turnover and a big play like that, like Coach Winter was saying, on defense, they cannot allow those big plays, and so you know how important it is for them to get it on offense.
So Jeans will get ready to kick it off again. And here we go. Looks like the crowd's getting a little bit into the game here as the student section jumping up and down a little bit. Red, white, and blue in honor of Labor Day. Gotta love it. Gotta love the patriotic atmosphere, and a timeout for the Paladins here on a kickoff. That's a little bit of a interesting timeout call there, but Coach Winter saw something he didn't like. Tough to give up. If you got the wrong guys out there for kickoff and then you give up a kickoff return for a touchdown right away, maybe that's a touchdown-saving timeout if you really think about it. Seems like a bit of a stretch, but you can see where that thought process is.
I can see that it follows logically. I mean, you saw the last kickoff return went back to the 50-yard line. So you want to make sure that all your little parts and pieces are in place to stay in your lanes, and make a tackle, make a hit.
Certainly, yeah. And, Stuart Jeans hasn't shown yet the ability to get the ball in the end zone for that automatic touchdown in Georgia high school football. So if it's going to be short, you got to be ready to get downfield and make a tackle and make a play.
Yeah, I've got to make a play. And kickoff's one of those things that NFL is considering taking out of the game, but it's just such a big part, and it's a big part of the game.
So here we go. Jeans, the right-footed kicker, with the ball set up on the hash. Looks like it might be a pooch kick idea, although he's taking long steps. Looks like he'll go deep. A little bit of an unbalanced kickoff team here for Pinecrest. 6 guys to the kicker's right, 4 to his left with the ball on the left hash. Jean takes his little hop as he approaches the ball. Off the right foot, and it is that pooch punt. Ball is going to hit the ground. Pinecrest has a chance to get on it, and it looks like Discovery jumped on it, but Pinecrest certainly had the opportunity, and it is going to be Discovery ball as the official signals, but a nice pooch play there, opportunity to get that ball back right away, go on a 21-0 run, but now the defense has to do their job.
Definitely. Way to keep that hands team on their heels.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be expecting everything. Good kick by Stuart Jeans, and now defense has a chance.
Chance to get them off the field, force a 3 and out here. And this Discovery offense on the sideline talking with the coaching staff, taking their time getting on the field. 6:45 remaining here in the second quarter. Set the game for you as Discovery went up 7-0. Pinecrest come back with 2 touchdowns. Ryan McCarthy on a 4-yard run, and just recently Carson Holler on a 50-plus yard touchdown run, breaking free and out run in the Discovery defense. But now Discovery has a chance to tie it back up as Drazik's in the gun. He'll have 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Mikkel Reynolds in the backfield with him. He's going to drop back to pass. and he's going to go deep, middle of the field, double coverage, and picked off. Oh! Corey Downs had it in his hand, but as he hit the ground, just couldn't quite corral it. But a nice job there of Downs. Those kind of go routes or something South Forsyth hurt Pinecrest on last week. Downs doing a nice job there in coverage.
Looks like they're ready for that. And what a lot of the coaches talk about, bail, bail, bail. And that just means corners and defensive backs got to just keep running backwards no matter what they see in front of them. Keep going backwards, and they're ready for a play like that.
And Downs did a really nice job high pointing that football. We saw McCarthy do it in the end zone to knock a pass away in the first quarter. So 2nd and 10 here for Discovery. Drazik in the gun, same formation, 3 to his right. Running back to his left, receiver to his left. It's going to be a handoff to Reynolds. Everybody's in the backfield for the Paladins. It's a party in the backfield for the Green, and that's going to be a big-time loss there for the Titans.
What a big play by the defensive line. That's just determination to get through there.
And we see it here on the replay, just that push. You see it, all the green going forward, all the white going backwards. That's what you want as a defensive line. And even though that's a run play, that's that pressure, right? Getting to that backfield as quick as you can and really exerting your dominance there. Nice job by the Paladin defense as they're going to go to 3-down linemen here, bringing an extra backer for some coverage. 2 backs in the backfield for Drazik. He's going to drop back right away. Pressure his face, throws downfield, and off the hands of Carson Holler. That's going to bring up a 4th and long. Nice job there by the Paladin defense, getting 3 and out, getting their offense the ball back.
And getting pressure on the defensive line every time. It's all Nolan Stafford there getting on the quarterback. It's just such a big thing. It's that mentality that when you're under pressure, you're going to make mistakes. So the quarterback's going right in the middle of the field and is getting tipped and knocked. And just a great play by the defense. Great overall play.
And you could see Drazik, as he took that snap, he looked downfield quick, and then he kind of was ready to get sacked, found a little more time to get a pass off, and that punt was nearly blocked. High punt. Takes a nice bounce for Discovery, and it's going to be down right at about the 26-yard line. So that's where the Paladins will start this drive, and they got good pressure on the punt there. That's something Coach Winter talked about, winning that kicking game. He said that snap had been getting back slow or high, so he really wanted to make a momentum play on special teams there, get really close there, see if they come after the punt later in the game.
Yeah, definitely a big part. We saw earlier in the game almost blocking the punt and then almost blocking the punt right there. And as we see in college NFL, that is just so big. If you get a punt block, nobody expects that.
Go back to this Paladin offense. McCarthy under center, looking to the sideline for his calls. Addison Ale will come in at A-back to give Carson Holler a quick breather. And it's going to be a handoff right up the middle and nowhere to go for the running back. And first on the tackle there for the Titans, that was number 58, Davion Jefferson.
You got, just talking about this senior class a little more. You got guys like Ryan McCarthy, Corey Downs. Corey playing football for 12 years. Ryan McCarthy playing for 13 years, been playing football longer than they haven't by far. And that's just such a key, that experience to know situations. And as a senior in high school, leading this team.
And even to, as we talked about, going down 7-0. Second week in a row, we're going down. But they're ready to bounce back. They know how quick this offense can score. We saw it, and it's going to be a pitch out to Baroses. Excuse me, he can't handle it. It was intended for Addison Ale on the pitch, and he's going to jump on it. Definitely an awkward pitch there from McCarthy as he threw it out with 2 hands as he was getting hit.
And even awkward-looking play there. We've seen a lot of those in this game, actually. So just getting down the field, that's what's important.
So defense did a nice job forcing the 3 and out. This Discovery defense doing their best job to match it, forcing a 3rd and 17 here for this Paladin offense. Corey Downs will split out to the right. He's the only receiver out. McCarthy under center. Motion by Baroses. McCarthy's going to roll to his right, look downfield, set his feet, throws deep, Downs, and looked like pass interference. That throw may have been out of bounds, which is why it did not warrant a flag, and that'll most likely bring up a punting situation here for the Paladins.
That's just one of those rules that you have exceptions this time, exceptions that time. It's a big book. It's a lot of complicated things in there. So interesting call there, or no call rather.
And if I believe correctly, that there's no face guarding is allowed as long as there's no contact in high school. Looked like there might have been a little contact there. A nice throw by McCarthy. He set his feet. He's got a good arm, and that's kind of the first time this year I think we've seen him to have time in the pocket to set his feet and throw a deep ball.
Oh, definitely, and that's not only good for this game, but it's good for Citadel to see that he can throw the ball. He can throw it way downfield and a very accurate throw too.
McCarthy will punt. Nice high punt. Going to give the cover team plenty of time. And was it touched? I don't know. Let's see if Pinecrest jumps on. They're going to let it roll. And down to the 29-yard line. Looks like Coach Winter wanted that ball to touch somebody, but the ref will not give him the call that he's looking for. Back deep, that was number 5, Tyshawn Chaney. Sorry we didn't have his name earlier in the broadcast for you, but number 5 for Discovery is Tyshawn Chaney, someone we've seen make some explosive plays. Let's see if they get the rock to him here on this drive. 3:54 remaining. This Discovery offense will have to drive the ball 71 yards if they want to find the end zone here. So as they trot on the field, so 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Drazik in the backfield, 2 running backs, 1 to each side. He's going to hand it off to Reynolds to the left. Nowhere to go. Dragged down there. Looked like that was Alan Yadav on the tackle.
Alan Yadav redeeming himself from that, but kind of
Twice now. We'll forget about it, Alan.
He's in the positive now. He's at a +1.
So a nice job there by the Paladin defense, forcing a loss of 2 on the 1st down play. So that'll bring up 2nd and 12. As once again, it'll be Drazik in the gun. Alexander Drazik, a sophomore. This Discovery team, you know, 1st year's varsity program, only 5 seniors on the roster. So a lot of sophomores and juniors playing. And we're going to have a flag here for most likely and false start, but it's going to be offsides. Looks like they're going to say Pinecrest was lined up in the neutral zone. Oh, no, looks like they pointed the wrong way. It is going to be a false start on Discovery.
And we see those little errors by the ref.
Early season.
Once about early in the season, everybody getting their feet on the ground.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and even longer. We'll call it 18 here for Discovery. Drazik in the gun. Reynolds to his left, single receiver to his left, 3 to his right. Ball in the middle of the field on the 20-yard line. It's going to be a keeper. Drazik's going to try to get to the edge, and is that going to be a block in the back? They're not going to call it, but a nice tackle there. That's a nice job by the Paladin defense of getting out of their drop back and driving upfield.
That's a great tackle, getting leverage, and almost like, if you look at it in slow motion, almost like textbook. That was very nice tackle. What you practice all week long. Great play.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and long here for this Titan offense. Just looking at the clock, you know, this triple option. Oh, we do have a flag on the field. And it is going to be a block in the back. It looked like McCarthy got hit in the back there as he was in good position to make that tackle on Drazik. So we'll see if the Paladins and Coach Winter decide to accept it or force a 3rd and long. As the officials say they will take it. So that'll bring up a 2nd and even longer, 23. And here's a situation where defensively, you know, you've gotten a couple breaks, made some nice plays. The offense has made some mistakes, and you can't give up a long play here. You know, you can't give up that 1st down. We saw it last week on a 3rd and 30. South Forsyth gets a nice long touchdown run. So here we go. Drazik drops back, fast pressure in his face. He's going to roll to his left, looking upfield. McCarthy's there waiting for him, and McCarthy's going to knock him out of bounds. As the clock will continue to run, 2:30 on the clock.
Looks like a little something going on out of bounds there, but nothing too serious.
So here we go, 3rd and nice and long. We'll call it 22. 2:12 on the clock and running, so we'll see if this Paladin defense gets to stop here if Coach Winter decides to use a timeout. We talked about going after a punt. Here's an opportunity deep in their own territory. If you can get a big stop here, they're going to bring pressure. Drazik looks deep, throwing high. Corey Downs picks it off, touches his feet down, intercepted at the 36-yard line. Corey Downs is making plays all at half.
Making plays all over the place. A little toe touch under there. Making the athletic interception and dropping the one earlier, but he got one right there. So I'm sure that marked that off his list, getting an interception.
Downs not sure if NFL scouts were watching, so he went ahead and got both feet down there along the sideline. So we talked about, do you use a timeout? Do you go try to block the punt? Are you going to have a long field? Big time play there. 2 minutes on the clock. Short field. 2 timeouts. Good opportunity here for the Paladins to punch one in.
Great opportunity. If you score here, bring momentum into the locker room. Great opportunity.
So McCarthy under center. Looks like it'll be Hunter Hawk in the backfield. Coming in motion. It's Holler. He's going to look to get some more room. He's to the 30, to the 25. Getting a nice block downfield. Lowers his shoulder. Rolls down to right about the 26-yard line. Carson Holler getting to the edge, making plays.
This triple option offense executing so well. It's so different from what we saw early in the first quarter, and this is what gave the Paladins a 10-2 record last season. This is just that consistent running, consistent gains, not many losses that you look for in this team.
And you could see on the replay there, nice blocking on the edge to get Holler free. Nice block there in the wide receiver spot. McCarthy's going to keep it, makes one man miss, cuts it up tight, reverses field, and he is not going to get quite free enough. But a nice run there, 9 yards on first down. McCarthy, for being a guy who's 6'3", 200 pounds, he does a nice job getting small and finding little alleys for him to run through.
Definitely good at getting small, and again, he's just so athletic. Like, I think 3-sport athlete, plays baseball, basketball, football, and he just so many skills in that skill set from all those different sports. He can use it to his advantage.
No doubt, those dual sport, tri-sport athletes, all those skills cross over back and forth. Think about, as a basketball player's vision, just like passing, obviously as a baseball player, quarterback, you have that same arm motion. So it really, McCarthy, you talked about it. You said he might be the best athlete on the field tonight, and so far, he's proven that. He's made some nice runs. He's made defensively a couple nice tackles, got his hands on a couple passes. So McCarthy doing a lot of things for these Paladins, as you expect someone who led your team in rushing and passing last year to do.
Oh, definitely. It's just, he's so valuable to Pinecrest, and one of those, for Pinecrest at least, once-in-a-generation players that can really lead a team. Led it through middle school, going into high school now, and soon going off to college.
So coming out of that timeout, Pinecrest will have one remaining. 80 seconds on the clock here. McCarthy under center. He's going to keep it. Pitches it out to Holler. Nice block by Baroses. He's down the sideline, and he is in for the touchdown. Big time play there. Carson Holler. Nice block by Michael Baroses, and that'll be a 20-7 lead with the extra point pending for the Paladins.
And he just gets the ball across the end zone, as we can see in that replay. Just great athletic ability by Holler. Another senior leadership. Crowd's excited. Everybody's getting ready to get this game going.
To celebrate,
Yeah,
getting in that end
get
zone.
ready to celebrate.
Didn't see enough of Pater last week. So Stuart Jeans on for the extra point. The right-footed kick is looking better and better every time. That one was up and through easy. And that's 21-7 for the Paladins. And just from watching that play live, a big-time block by Michael Baroses on the edge there. And Baroses is someone, he plays that same A-back spot as Holler. And tonight, it's been Holler, right? They're calling his name. They're pinching him the ball out of the flats. And Baroses, not upset that he's not getting the call. He's going to go make a play. He's going to go set a big-time block that sets up your teammate to score a touchdown. And those are kind of the unselfish plays that this senior group really is doing well. And Baroses, being a junior, seems to be bought into what this senior group is bringing to this program.
Definitely bought in. And the seniors, not only leadership through their play, but also in the locker room. They're talking. Their personalities, all that stuff that they're telling a team what to do in order to keep this team going into next year, keep on the leadership, and just doing a real good job of teaching the youngsters how to keep it going.
No doubt, and that's a big thing. You know, any coach will tell you, as a senior group, your biggest responsibility should be to leave that program better than how you found it. You know, and I think this senior group is really doing that, not just with the wins on the field and winning a region championship and a playoff game last year, but it seems like, you know, just for that next generation of players, really providing that leadership and that excitement and that hard work that, as we see now, is really starting to pay off as they're finding their rhythm.
Oh, definitely, and it's certainly going to be a hard legacy to live up to, this team for the past 2 years, and they certainly have the capabilities of doing it.
So here, this crowd is getting ruckus, just like John Paul called for. And Gene's another squib kick. Let's see if this one hits the ground. It does, and it's picked up briefly by Discovery, spun out, and Daniel Duke coming downfield like a missile with a big-time tackle. Taking down big number 88, the senior Jamel Flowers.
Man, it looks like the two classes making plays in this game are the seniors and the freshmen. He got a lot of stuff going on. It's a great depth, even for a 1A school for Pinecrest.
So ball on the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Titans. 1:08 on the clock. They do have 2 timeouts remaining. Haven't had a lot of success throwing the ball downfield. You know, their touchdown drive was a lot of run plays, chunk 4 or 5 yards. So let's see if they play conservative or try to get some points on the board here heading into the half. Looks like we have a new quarterback in the game. It's going to be number 10, Caleb Cook, for the Titans, and Cook's going to hand it off to Reynolds. Reynolds finds a little room to the 35. It looks like a penalty comes in. It's probably going to be a block in the back, but Reynolds still fighting and cleaned up there by Wills Brown, but looked like a pretty obvious block in the back there in the middle of the field, as Jack Binkley did a nice job settling down to make a tackle and just got bumped right in the back. And they're going to call a hold instead of a block in the back. Guess I'm not ready to be an official just quite yet.
And then we see that new quarterback coming in. This new team, you're still doing some experimenting. You see what works, what doesn't work, and it's hard. It's trial by fire, but you know, no preseason games. You got a few scrimmages, but nothing matches up to what you see during the regular season. And you got to find out what works if you're this Discovery football team.
So in at quarterback, as I mentioned, Caleb Cook, a junior. Alexander Drazik started the game and wasn't unsuccessful, but certainly wasn't the passer that this Discovery offense was looking for. Threw an interception on his last attempt as Corey Downs picked it off to set up a touchdown. And Cook with a nice throw to the sideline. And just short, that pass was intended for Jason Mitchell.
Interesting formation we saw by Discovery just there, and that concept they were running, it's meant to stretch the defenders. One get back and one curl underneath, and whatever one is open, you throw to. It makes for some tough, it's hard to defend. It's very hard to defend.
So trips to the right for Cook. Single receiver to his left, single back. He's going to drop back to pass, looking to his left, long throw across the field, and just short, intended for number 17. Corey Burnett, or excuse me, number 14.
Can't quite get it across.
Tyrick Love. That's a long throw.
That's a very long throw. We saw David Shanley almost making one of those last week, and that's a tough throw.
Yeah, big time throw from one hash to a curl route outside on the hash on the other. But a 3rd and 15 here for Discovery. Discovery hopefully won't put themselves in any more of a hole with the turnover here. On the flip side, the Paladins really looking to get some pressure, hopefully get an interception, and it's going to be kept by Cook, and he's going to be wrapped up there by, looks like it was Hunter Hawk first, and cleaned up by Jack Binkley. And with 33 seconds left, Coach Winter's going to call a timeout, and I imagine he's going to try to go get after this punt.
You saw Coach Winter running up right behind that referees. It can be hard to hear with this crowd cheering so loud.
So 33 seconds on the clock. Ball spotted on the 26-yard line. Discovery most likely will pass here, will punt here. And so we talked about opportunity to go block the punt. You also drop back Carson Hollerdeep, who we've seen a couple times. His athleticism, you know, he's one of the fastest players on this field. Possibly you set up a return for him and try to get him. But definitely a decision here and an opportunity for the Paladins to make a play and hopefully get more points on the board.
Yeah, but especially with this 33 seconds left, whatever happens here can be critical to the game and momentum, especially.
So Discovery will come out from their sideline.
Holler having a little conversation with the ref down there. Just a friendly one-on-one that we like to see.
Probably telling them, look, I'm not calling for a fair catch. If I get this thing, I'm taking it to the house. So it looks like Pinecrest is going to play it pretty safe and set up a return. Although they get good pressure, Holler's going to field it out about the 36-yard line. And nice job downfield by the gunner. That was 27 on the tackle of Fizz Bomatos. So with a long field here and a short clock and just one timeout, I imagine the Paladins will most likely just take a knee, go into half of this 21-7 lead.
That'd be the smart decision, but you have 24 seconds, you never know. He's some long plays earlier in this game. And why not? I would say, why not take a shot?
It only took Auburn 1 second to beat Alabama a few years ago, so
it did.
24 seems like an eternity.
It really, yeah.
Shout out to college football being back, and always fun to take a little jab at the Crimson Tide. So McCarthy under center, 24 on the clock. He is going to drop back to pass. He's going to look to go deep. He's got a man. He had Addison Ale, but overthrew him by a couple feet.
Yeah, Crimson Tide, going against them, you'll get a lot of support, even from guys like Corey Downs, Carson Holler, who are looking at going to Auburn sometime in college. And so, taking a shot at Crimson Tide, go right ahead.
18.9 on the clock, 2nd and 10. Coach Winter making us look silly up here, talking about taking a knee. He's taking shots downfield. So McCarthy again will be under center, as I expect we'll see all game and all season, unless he's back deep punting one. Straight behind him, it's Brooks Binkley. And it's going to go to Binkley. He finds a little bit of a room, but couldn't quite break through. As the clock is going to continue to tick, 10, and that should do it for the first half. So after 24 minutes of football, the score, Pinecrest 21, Discovery 7 here between the Pines at Pinecrest Academy. And we'll be back for the second half in just about 20 minutes.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
Bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Hain Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Foresight, dedicated to all better.
Changes it from within. Deception lives in the dark, but you can't hide from your sins. This is a war. Tonight I'm coming out the shadows. Long time coming, gonna get what's mine. I'm here standing at the doorway, staring down my glory. It's my time. 'Cause I'm not light in the darkness. I'm not moving in the gun, that's me. My heart it beats like a bass drum. Come on, let me get some. Never gonna back down, never gonna break one bend. Now, tonight there's gonna be a shutdown. Tonight there's gonna be war. This is what we came for. The victor, the champion. I'll be the last one standing. The ranger, the glory. Tonight they'll write my story down. Time goes by in the moment. Can't think now, only got one shot. It's all on me, gonna own it. Running to the top now, I won't stop. 'Cause I'm not light in the darkness. I'm not moving the gun, that's me. My heart it beats like a bass drum. Come on, let me get some. Never gonna back down, never gonna break one bend. Now, tonight there's gonna be a showdown. Tonight there's gonna be war. This is what we came for. The victor, the champion. I'll be the last one standing. The ranger, the glory. Tonight they'll write my story down. Tonight they'll write my story down. Tonight they'll never gonna back down, never gonna break one bend. Now, tonight there's gonna be a shutdown. Tonight there's gonna be war. This is what we came for. The victor, the champion. I'll be the last one standing. The glory. Tonight they'll write my story
So, as I tell you, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. We had to play on this stage. We had to play on this stage early to see that it's no different than the other stage. Because we have great things ahead of this program right now. In this season, it played a 7A school that took the national champion high school football team to the wire last year. You understand that? And you had opportunities. You had opportunities. Right? But we have to take a step. We had to take this step as a program tonight. You should hold your heads proud and high. Because you know what? It takes, number one, a tough man to walk on this field with 45 guys, right? And to play on this stage. You see anybody else doing this? Nobody else in the state is doing this. But we're making ourselves better. So you need to hold your heads high and be proud. Because you know what? You had the guts to step out on this field tonight. Nobody else would. Nobody else would do that.
A big victory is special because I know all the fans and everyone have very high expectations. I feel like we didn't let them down. They want us to win every game. They want us to shut out a team. They want us to score 40 points. When I experience a big a big loss or anything that doesn't go my way. It's hard. A loss is hard. A bad play is hard, but I know we'll just come back the next week or the next play and fight. I do take it and adjust and fix the mistake I made. What I do mentally is I just forget about it, like I said before. I got short-term memory.
If you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning. And every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford. With 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage. Plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford Certified Pre-Owned, a car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax, it's covered.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Hain Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Foresight, dedicated to all better.
Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12th grade Catholic school, and our mission is crystal clear: to form our students into Christian leaders who will transform society. The hallmark of a Pinecrest education is our recognition of each student as a unique child of God with special gifts and talents. We believe that God is calling these young people to lead their families, their businesses, and their communities in accordance with His teachings. We welcome those from all faith backgrounds who value excellent education. Part of our Catholic identity is respect for the inquiry of the human mind. Pinecrest Academy's approach is called integral formation. Through this unique process, we address the whole child, intellectually, humanly, spiritually, and apostolically. We also refer to these as the 4 pillars. One thing that makes Pinecrest unique is that we have gender-separated classes that begin in the 4th grade. Research proves that boys and girls learn differently. In this gender-separate environment, students feel free to explore who they are and develop their full potential. Pinecrest wholly believes that you, the parent, are the primary educator of your child. We wish to work alongside you to form them into the adults that God desires them to be. Thank you for considering our school as a partner in the development of your gifts from God. Pinecrest Academy is
If you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning, and every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford with 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage, plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford Certified Pre-Owned, a car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax, it's covered.
welcome back to Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV. We're here between the Pines today in Cumming, Georgia, and at the half, the Paladins lead Discovery 21-7. A nice second quarter there for the Paladins as they really turned it on and went on a 21-0 lead. Sorry, excuse me, a 21-0 run to take the lead there.
And as we saw earlier in the game, it was really a fake punt pass from Mangan to Corey Downs that really turned the tide in this game, and the Paladins have been on a roll ever since.
And we've talked about during the break a little bit. Nice job finding success in that triple option on the edge and with McCarthy keeping it around the tackle.
Definitely. Around the edge, you got speed from Carson Holler, Michael Barozis, guys that the Paladins aren't finding a whole lot of success out the middle. They seem to be getting it when they need it, but they're going to get more success from the outside between those numbers and the sidelines.
Yep. Discovery, that 7A school we talked about a bit, bigger players, bigger than the offensive linemen that Pinecrest has, and that's presented some problems when trying to run it up the middle, but Barozes and Holler and McCarthy is his big physical ability. They found success running to the edge and getting out to the sideline and different kind of entrance to the second half here for Pinecrest with this 21-7 lead instead of being down big at the half like last week.
Definitely. It's a huge change, and it's what you're looking for. And if Pinecrest were blowing them out by more, this might be better as a situation because Pinecrest is still motivated to score.
Right.
They're not just resting on their laurels and saying, we're going to stay here.
Right, and you have to imagine that the coaching staff for Pinecrest made some adjustments. They expect a lot of passing, saw a lot of running out of Mikkel Reynolds for Discovery. So let's see if some of those adjustments come into play here in the second half as we're just about a minute away from getting ready to tee this one off for the second 24 minutes here in the second half.
Like you said, getting more success on the outside.
And we see here a highlight from the first half as McCarthy throwing the ball a little long, but snagged there on the sideline by Discovery head coach Ephraim Hill. Coach Hill, we mentioned 8 years playing pro football in the NFL and the CFL, and you can see he still got those hands. So nice little snag there from Coach Hill. I'm sure he'll be talking about that in film next week, making sure any receivers that dropped it let him know he still got his hands.
And it's one of those things, like football, you make connections. So it's not just high school, college, NFL, all separated. You got NFL players now coaches in high school, college, and it's just one big community of football, and it just reminds you of it. You got guys. These coaches aren't just people who walked out of the street and hey, I'll coach football. They've played before. They have experiences of football, and that it's just a rich depth of experience between these two teams.
So we'll get ready to kick off the second half here on Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV. I'm Ned Case along with John Paul Hoover. We're here in Cumming, and as the second half gets ready to face off, we got that nice low 70 temperature, perfect for the fall. The lights are coming on. Yeah, John, Mike, you talked about this field a little bit beat up, but it's held up well. We haven't seen anybody slip or anything.
Haven't seen anybody slip or anything, and I think the field crew has done a fantastic job with it. Given what they had last week, it just didn't look like it was in good shape. And then to have it football ready by now, it's impressive. It's very impressive.
So Discovery is set to kick off here. They'll be kicking to the Paladins. So an opportunity here for the Paladins to keep this run going, put in another touchdown, take a bigger lead. Carson Holler, I'm sure, will be deep. He's shown his ability to get to the edge with 2 nice touchdowns there in the second half. One of them coming from 50 yards out, just outrunning everybody else trying to chase him down.
Carson Holler, a lot of speed. Barozis is more the quickness, but Holler, if you let him get in open space.
And it looks like the officials are going to call a delay of game on Pinecrest.
Kind of odd coming out of the
very odd
halftime.
The ball will go forward 15 yards, so it'll be kicked off from the near 45-yard line. So most likely an opportunity to put this ball in the end zone, and that's tough for this this Paladin team, with the momentum they have, it shouldn't take away too much, but just kind of a funny call. It's something that kind of messes with that mojo and that flow getting back into the game to start the half.
It's kind of messes with that mojo, something you didn't really expect, but I don't know if the players really know what to think of it, but something you
can't control. Just got to keep playing.
Just keep playing the game and keep scoring touchdowns.
So again, the score 21-7. Pinecrest Paladins leading it here. Start the third quarter, 12 minutes on the clock. Kick's going to come off the left foot of the starting quarterback, Alexander Drazik, and it's another pooch, and fair caught there by Corey Downs. Nice play. And the ball will start at the 25-yard line. So that, a little bit interesting. I think that probably speaks to the inability of Discovery to have a kicker, that they wouldn't just try to kick deep and put that one in the end zone for a touchback.
It's interesting, especially, when you have that advantage. When you're up a few yards and you got the opportunity. It's not like college and the NFL where you kick it out of the end zone no matter where you are.
Right.
This is a real opportunity in high school, and interesting call to do that.
So instead of putting it in the end zone for a touchback and starting on the 20, it was a pooch kick, and the Paladins will start this drive at the 26 as the student section gets loud for a little energy to bring to the offense. McCarthy under center. Holler's going to come in motion. It's going to be a keeper for McCarthy. He's going to be dragged down from behind. Nice job coming down the line there by the defensive end for the Paladins. That was number 45, Corey Lewis.
That was a key tackle by the defensive end there. Looked like Carson Holler had a lead block downfield. Ryan could have got to the outside and got some yards. That's assignment football, getting your job done so that everybody else can focus on swarm tackling, stuff like that.
And that's something Coach Winter mentioned in our call this week is assignment football. And a team like Discovery, first varsity season, probably hasn't seen the triple option a lot, right? So they really have to do a good job of getting to their assignments, making their reads. And I think we saw it in that first half with the success getting to the edge. I think Discovery was a little late in getting there, and McCarthy's going to keep it again. Cuts upfield, makes a couple men miss. He's going to fall down to about the 32-yard line, 31-yard line, bringing up a third and manageable here for the Paladins.
Another third and manageable. A lot of people say, oh, third down, you got to convert here, but it's just another run of the mill for the offense. It's what they do. They're not worried about third downs. I mean, they should worry if they have more than manageable yards, but this is just another day at the office. Should be a conversion here.
Especially the way this offense has been flowing and driving the ball downfield. So McCarthy's under center. Corey Downs, a single split receiver to the right. It's going to be a toss out. The Holler's going to try to get to the edge. Takes a block from Barozas. Getting upfield. He's in the 50 to the 45. He's going to be knocked out there. Big time play. And again, Pinecrest finding success getting to the edge. Carson Holler using his speed.
What a big time block by Barozas there. Getting Carson Holler out in the open. And you see that speed just taking off.
Holler, nice long strides at 6'2", 195. Gazelle-like getting up the field there. He got caught that time. We saw him in the first half. No one could catch him. But, you talk about that third down, right? 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Pinecrest offense wasn't worried. Ran a simple play. Big-time first down, big chunk of yards.
It's just another down for them. It's just, and that's a great mentality to have, where you're not worried about not converting.
And McCarthy's going to give it off to the fullback. I think that's Binkley, number 25. And there's a little 4 yards, a little late pushing and shoving after the whistle. Flag comes in. It looked like Discovery got the big shove, but we'll see if there was something we missed from up in the press box. And although, you're finding all that success to the edge as Pinecrest, you feel like you still have to run that ball up the middle to make that defense respect it.
You definitely have to do that. And not only that, but you can pass the ball. We saw Ryan throw it way downfield, even though it got caught by the opposing coach, but he can still throw it a long way downfield. And maybe Pinecrest takes advantage of that sometime this half.
So the officials are discussing the late flag. It is going to be a personal foul. It's going to go against Discovery. And that's what it looked like from up here. So a nice job there by the Paladins of cooler head prevailing and taking the 15.
And again, that emotion showing, when you're Discovery and you've never won a varsity football game, and you're down 21-7, you don't have the momentum, you kind of see where this may lead, it's got to be tough to handle. Only a couple ways you can take it, and one of those includes getting a little feisty after the play.
And the student section making sure Discovery knows they can't do that. And it's going to be McCarthy under center. He's going to keep it, finds a little room, and he's going to be dragged down by the ankles. That was the senior Corey Burnett.
Coach Winter seems to be unhappy about something. Looks like we saw Ryan take a shot to the head after that play. Maybe that could have been what it been, but you know, in this day and age, you got to be careful with that kind of stuff.
So 2nd and 9 here after the short gain on the McCarthy run. McCarthy under center. Holler's going to come in motion. They're going to pitch it out wide to him. But Roses again with a nice block to seal the edge and staying on his feet. Holler making a few men miss, and he's going to be dragged down about the 18, 19-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 4 here for the Paladins. And Barroz again doing a nice job blocking on the edge, and it's not that he's, you know, blowing the guy up, but he's engaging and giving Holler some running lanes.
Engaging, a lot of people say, oh, he didn't pancake him or decleat him, but that's not what you need to do. Again, like I said, just engage him when you're a defender. When just a little bit of disturbance can get you off your track, and you have no chance of the tackle.
So McCarthy again under center. Jack Binkley split out wide to the right. It's going to be a keeper for McCarthy. He's going to pitch it out. There's Baroses. Nice little sidestep. Makes one man miss, but couldn't get past the pursuing linebacker. That'll bring up a 4th and about 4. Looked like they lost half a yard there. And
it looks like Discovery's defense is showing signs of just once in a while getting in the backfield stuff, but they can't find any sort of consistency on defense. That's got to be hard for the coaches to see.
So with 7:48 and counting on the clock here in the 3rd quarter, a 4th and 4 for the Paladins. And it's going forward on 4th down, something you see a ton out of the triple option. You see it at Georgia Tech, you see it at Navy, and now you're seeing it here at Pinecrest. Coach Winter, he trusts his guys. Let's see if they get to the outside where they've had a lot of success. And it's going to be a little counter play for Holler. He does a nice job finding a running lane, and he is going to be marked down close to the line. It looks like from the spot of the far official where the sticks are, he might be a little short.
And the official making the gap sign with his hands, just a little short.
And the officials haven't made a call yet. Let's see if they bring the chains out. Oh, there looks like there's a flag on the field sitting right next to the football. So we'll see if we get a call here from the officials. Looks like they're looking to the Discovery sign line indicating it's going to be on Pinecrest. Although now they're talking to the Pinecrest huddle.
We got a flag on the field.
So this official crew making sure they get the call right, and it's going to be a personal foul on Discovery. The 2nd one on this drive, and that one is really big, keeping the drive alive after the Titan defense just got to stop.
Again, not what you're looking for. That's not football. That's not playing the game right. When you're down like this, the last thing you want to do is let your temper get out of control and get too physical. You got to keep that under control.
So McCarthy under center, ball on the 7-yard line. It's the freshman, Hunter Hawk, directly behind him. Baroses and Holler are his A-backs. It's going to go to the freshman, Hunter Hawk. He's going to drive, and be just short. Look like he's marked down right about the 2-yard line. A lot of power out of the freshman there.
A lot of power out of the freshman. And one of the characteristics of a great runner is when you watch him, he just keeps his feet moving. No matter how many guys are there, he just keeps his feet moving, getting a little help from the O-line there, pushing him forward. That's a sign of a great runner. Hunter Hawk is having a great game so far.
So 2nd and goal from the 2. Hawk's going to stay in the game. Let's see if they reward him for it. Hawk's been running hard, also made some plays as a defensive end so far this game. Barrosos is in motion. McCarthy's going to keep it, not a lot of room, trying to dance around and find some space, but he is going to be short. Looks like he's marked at about the half-yard line, so 3rd and really short here for the Paladins. McCarthy at 6'3". You feel like he can just fall forward and find the end zone.
Yeah, you would think fall forward, like you see Cam Newton do, just take the football, reach right over there. You got tall guy in the field, many options.
So 3rd and 1 here. You assume it's going to be 2 down territory for the Paladins, as a run-heavy team would expect they can get a yard in 2 plays. So it's Mangan split out wide. Everybody else in between the hashes. McCarthy under center. He's going to keep it, and he's going to make a couple men miss and coast into the corner of the end zone for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game.
Again, Paladins finding success going outside. Ryan just coasting into the end zone, getting some key blocks. Just an easy touchdown. That's what you want to see at this point in the game.
So McCarthy with his 2nd touchdown run. First one 4 yards. This one 1 yard, although bouncing it to the outside, he made it about a 10-yard run for himself.
Yeah.
Stuart Jeans on for the extra point. Snap's good, holds down, kick is up, and mark him down for 4 for 4 on extra points. And the Paladins 28-7 lead, exactly what you want, you know. Receive the second half kickoff, drive the field, ball control. I mean, that drive took over half the quarter, 6:09, and get on the board. And perfectly just what I'm sure Coach Winter talked about doing at halftime, and the players came out, executed the game plan.
Great execution of the game plan. This is the kind of offense that Paladin fans saw last season. This is the kind of score they're used to seeing. They had a fantastic season last season. It's almost like we're there right now. I don't know if you saw that kick from Stuart Jeans, but it went so high, it hit the cameraman up there who were getting the lengthwise end zone shot up in that thing up there, and it bounced up into the box up there, and
so
it's a pretty high kick.
A 74-yard drive there, as that drive started at the 26-yard line after a pooch punt, and you know, just penalties, right? You know, so come out there, Pinecrest gets a 15-yard delay a game. And a kind of funky penalty. Coaches aren't really sure why. Players probably never seen it. But how do they respond? They drive the length of the field. On the opposite end, Discovery, 2 personal fouls. One of them, after you made the stop on 4th down, keeps the drive alive, and they find the end zone there.
Personal fouls, you're talking about 2 of them. That's 30 yards. That's just
more. It's almost half the drive.
Almost half the drive. You can't do that if you're Discovery, especially if you're down 28-7 now. Cannot afford to make those penalties.
So Stuart Jeans with his little high kick jump step. I love it. He's going to boot it, and it's going to bounce and off the knee of a Pinecrest defender, and he might have knocked it out of bounds. If he knocked it out of bounds, I don't know if that's a penalty or not. Doesn't look like any flags coming out.
Stuart Jeans is the kicking motion. He's a soccer player. The kicking motion is unlike a lot of football kickers you'll see. He just, especially on that, doesn't follow through all the way. Just kind of hits it and gets back, and it's easy for him to control the length that it goes by doing that.
And we saw it a couple times there in the first half, and there again, you know, the ball lands in between that second layer and the guys down deep, and it makes it for a tough play. And when that ball hits the ground, I mean, that's a live ball. It's an opportunity for you to jump right back on it. So 5:47 here on the clock. It looks like it's going to be Caleb Cook in at quarterback. We saw him come in at the end of the half, and he'll start the second half. He'll have 2 receivers to his left and running back in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Reynolds. And Reynolds is going to get about a yard. Excuse me, let's make that 2 to create a 2nd and 8. This Paladin defense, you know, ever since that first drive, or excuse me, that second drive, really nice job putting the clamps down.
Really great job executing on defense. Brooks Binkley running this defense from the middle right there, making great plays.
And it's going to be a blitz by the Paladins. Cook drops back. McCarthy got his hands on it, but it was caught. Tyshawn Cheney just about a yard past the sticks. That'll be a first down for the Titans.
That's the second time today we've seen that happen. A tip pass and then catch it. So if McCarthy just get up a little earlier, I don't know if he can react quicker than that, but that could have been a pick 6 if he'd actually gotten up in there and caught it.
And Caleb Cook, just in a few throws, seems to have a more natural throwing motion than Drazik did. So we'll see if they throw the ball a little more, but he's going to pitch it out wide, and McCarthy doing a nice job staying home, tackles him, and a flag is going to come in. I think they're going to get him for a horse collar. That's going to be a tough call. On the carry there, that was number 7, number 4, Kobe Johnson.
That was like either a horse collar or unnecessary roughness, perhaps. He threw him down.
So on this, especially, on that far sideline, on Discovery sideline, that's going to be tough to get away with that. Maybe on your sideline you can get away with it, but with all their coaches and players over there, they're going to get a personal foul. It's going to be on McCarthy. That's his second of the game. Both of them, hard-nosed plays. The first one a little late on the quarterback, but even though they're hard-nosed plays, you can see him down on the sideline. The coaching staff not real happy with Ryan.
Not real happy with Ryan, but, he, at this point in his career in high school, he's kind of on his own. He's got to know not to do that.
So Tyson Chansey's going to be back there. He's going to bring a man in motion, but he's going to keep it, finds a little room, puts his foot in the ground, cuts upfield. Nice tackle there. Looked like that was, let's see who it was when they hop up from the pile. That was number 4, Carson Holler. Looks like it's a little bit of a cramp as he stretches it out. And, that's something you see early season high school football, some of those cramps, and especially these guys who are playing 2 ways, playing just about every snap, including special teams. So Carson Holler, you see him struggling a little bit with it here. You worry, cramps, that's something that can kind of keep bugging you throughout a game.
Definitely keep bugging you. But, to see a senior play through it on one end, yes, it's great. He shows his toughness, but you don't want him to get hurt anymore. And that's the risk you run by letting him stay in the game. We saw Teddy Bridgewater having a non-contact injury this past week, complete tear in his ACL. It's just injuries in football can happen out of nowhere, and you just got to be careful with the speed and the size of players these days. Can't be too careful.
Cook's going to roll to his left, looking to throw downfield, finds a man, but the pass was dropped. Kobe Johnson hit him right in the hands.
Oh, just when Discovery gets something going that they want and drops a pass, there's not much more you can do to get that play well run.
And right in front of the Paladins student section, and they're giving it to Kobe Johnson. Maybe he should work with Coach Hill after practice a little more. Coach Hill's flashing the hand so far today. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10, ball on the 35-yard line. Cook in the gun. He's going to drop back to pass, looking to his left, over the middle of the field, and over the head of Johnson. Nice diving effort by Corey Downs, but ball falls to the ground, creating 3rd and 10 here.
I don't know if the ball is finding Corey Downs or if Corey Downs is finding the ball this game. If he got that and he got the mobile 4, he could have 3 picks this game.
Downs with 1 in the first half. Also in the first half, had a big catch on a fake punt that really kind of swung the momentum in Pinecrest's favor. 4:30 on the clock. Pinecrest up 28-7 on a 28-0 run after going down early. Discovery trying to find that offensive rhythm they had in the first quarter. Cook in the game. He's going to go deep, good coverage downfield, and almost a spectacular catch off the hands of number 2, Kyrie Seabrook. Good coverage downfield there by the Paladins. That looked like it was number 7, Daniel Duke.
Very good coverage. Defensive backs for Pinecrest having a great game, and they're helped out a ton by the defensive line, penetrating almost every play, getting pressure on the quarterback.
So a 4th and 10 here. Coach Hill is going to go for it with the ball in a little bit of an awkward spot. Ball on the 35. It's going to be Cook in the backfield. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Reynolds in the backfield to his left. He's going to drop back to pass. Good pressure. Gets hand on it. Cook makes one-man miss, and good pursuit there. That was number 55, Stone Brown. 2nd time we've called his name for quarterback pressure.
Stone Brown, see him getting fired up there. He has so much strength, and he just gets the leverage, throws him down.
And Stone Brown there busted through the line, just missed Cook. Cook sidestepped him, but Brown kept chasing him down, chased him down for about a 1-yard gain, forcing the turnover on downs.
That's that determination. You're up 28-7, but you're not giving up on any plays.
That's the motor a lot of those college scouts and NFL scouts talk about, those defensive ends having, and Stone Brown showing he's got it right now, and it's going to be a handoff to Binkley. He's going to gain about a yard. Again, this Discovery defense doing a nice job between the tackles stopping this triple attack.
they're doing a nice job between the tackles, and Pinecrest having a tough time sometimes, but again, once they get to the outside, just avoid the defensive line. Look for their weaknesses and exploit it, and score touchdowns that we've seen from Ryan and Carson Holler.
So Addy Ale in for Holler right now, as Holler's going to get a little bit of a breather, dealing with some cramp issues on defense. It's going to be a pitch out to Barozas. He's got a little bit of a lane trying to get to the sideline, and gains about 4 yards, bringing up a 3rd and 4 here. Barozas, you talked about it. Nice acceleration there, getting upfield.
Yeah, he's definitely quick. He moves his arm and his feet quick. And that acceleration just to get to the outside and almost get around the defensive back, still get some positive yardage. That's exactly what they're looking for every play.
And you have different running styles with Holler, kind of more of a speed guy, got those long strides. Barozas, like you said, more of a shifty guy, chopping those feet, putting his foot in the ground and cutting upfield. So it'll be a 3rd and 4 here. McCarthy under center. It's going to be a little bit of a counterattack, and the handoff was fumbled. It looks like it was recovered by Barozas, but that's about the 3rd or 4th time today we've seen the handoff from quarterback to running back get a little complicated. Balls hit the ground a handful of times.
Oh, that, but Ryan McCarthy took a pretty big shot behind the play there.
Yeah, I was actually looking for a flag there. Didn't know if we were going to get a late call, but I guess if he's carrying out the fake as part of the triple, he can legally get hit. A rule that the NFL touched up with RG3 when he was a rookie. But high school football, it's the same. So McCarthy's going to be back deep to punt. Tight formation out of the Pinecrest punting team. Snaps back, handled well, no pressure. Puts a big right foot into it. It's going to be fair, caught, and takes a nice Pinecrest bounce. It'll go down inside the 20 and be down to the 15. So a nice punt there by McCarthy to make the Titans have to drive the full length of the field if they want to get in the end zone.
And Ryan McCarthy showing off all sorts of skill in the punting, and it's almost like he was born to be an athlete. His mom was a swimmer. She made it to the Olympic trials. And so when you're swimming like that and your dad's playing baseball and you're playing football, you're an athletic family.
Yeah, no doubt. He does seem to do, everything. He's punting. We see him making tackles, getting his hands in the passing lane. The only thing he hasn't done, which is kind of funny to say about a quarterback, he hasn't completed a pass yet. But he's done just about everything else you could ask out of somebody. So Cook in the gun, 2 receivers to each side. It's going to be handoff to Reynolds, a little bit of a counter play, cuts back, and McCarthy's going to get first hit on him, and Holler will clean it up. That looks like a gain of about 10. That should move the sticks.
Well, Ryan hasn't completed a pass, but it doesn't mean nobody's caught his passes. Somebody's out there catching it.
I'm sure Mickey Magnan is going to be giving it to McCarthy if he doesn't complete a pass today. He's going to be telling Coach, hey, I'm 1 for 1 on the season. That's 100%. So first down there for the Titans on a nice run by Reynolds. Reynolds has found some success running the football. They're going to go back to him, finds another little bit of a hole. Dragged down there by Alan Yadav, excuse me. So, here's his run game. They haven't found a lot of success passing the ball, a lot due to one of the keys of the game. We talked about great pressure by the Pinecrest defensive line, but they have found some success running the ball, picking up 4 or 5 yards every time.
And not just that, but this just shows how the preparation that you put in practice, scrimmage, and watching film is so key. Because when you got a coach saying, oh, guys, they're passing it 65% of the time, and you prepare for that, it's almost unfair, the advantage you have. And the other team can't do anything about the fact that who knows, maybe they weren't going to run it this whole time, and now they're deciding to do it. It's all about adjustments. You got to make adjustments in the middle of the game. That's what wins games.
And Coach Winter and staff did a nice job in the first half between the first and second quarters, really slowing down that run game. And here you go, get him in 3rd and long, get him into a passing situation. Cook sets his feet, goes deep, and a nice catch along the sideline. That was number 7 for the Titans. Jason Mitchell. Daniel Duke in good position. Looked like he lost his feet a little bit there, as we can see here on the replay. Good pressure. Cook rolled to his right. Just had enough time to set his feet. And as he throws downfield, you see Duke here in a good spot, but kind of just lost his foot. And a nice job by Mitchell of going up and high pointing that football.
That was a great throw, too. Just over Duke's head. Any shorter, and he could have had his second pick of the day.
So big pickup there as a Titan is downfield at about where the line of scrimmage was. Looks like that's number 74 for the Titans, Brian Ochoa.
You never want to see injuries, especially early in the season. You know, this is a big part of an athlete's life, is playing football. You practice every day after school, and it's not what you want to see.
And as they attend to the player down, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back between the Pines.
This Pinecrest Academy football
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Welcome back to Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV. I'm Ned Case alongside John Paul Hoover. 127 here in the third quarter. Discovery driving, big time pressure by the Paladins, but a nice job getting the ball out to his running back. Cook getting creative there as he flipped the ball out to Kobe Johnson as he was getting wrapped up.
Getting very creative and maybe a little dangerous there. If he had another defender coming in, he could have easily tipped that, and that could be a touchdown for the Paladins. That's dangerous play that almost paid off with some positive yards.
But a nice pressure there by the Paladins. Again, it was Stone Brown getting in the backfield. Brown's been making plays all game.
All game long.
The sophomore really stepping up for this group. Cook's going to drop back to pass. More pressure in his face. He's going to flip it off to Reynolds, who makes one man miss, and he's going to get past the first down markers. He's going to be spotted at about the 27-yard line. So the Titans putting together a little bit of a drive here at the end of the third quarter.
Putting together a little drive, and you know, 28-7, not exactly out of reach yet. If you score here, get some momentum, keep this game going.
So 28-7, the Paladins lead, 43 seconds and counting as the refs restart play after the first down. Cook's in the gun. He's going to hand it off to Reynolds to the left side. He's going to be dragged down by, again, number 22, Hunter Hawk, the freshman. He's been getting his name called on both sides of the balls today.
Hunter Hawk having quite a game, and he's technically not starting right now, but later in the season, making plays like this, you could see him higher in that lineup.
Always nice to have depth, especially at a school like Pinecrest. You got a lot of guys going both ways. 2nd and 8 here. Cook, a little bit of mixed communication. He thought he was going to hand it off, but he finds Reynolds, and he's going to be wrapped up, breaks the tackle, and he's down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line, and that will do it for the end of the third quarter. Pinecrest Paladins 28, Discovery Titans 7. We got 12 more minutes, so don't go anywhere, folks.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Haynes Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Foresight, dedicated to all better.
All right, guys, I'm John Paul Hoover here with head coach for the Paladins, Todd Winter. Just going to ask you a few questions before the game, Coach. Just one, what are your thoughts, just immediate thoughts heading into this game?
Well, I think we have a real bad taste in our mouth from last week. I think that's number one. I think the kids are hungry. I think we had a great week of practice. I think they're ready to really show everybody how they play this game and how they should be playing this game.
All right. Anything with injuries? What's the scoop? We should be looking for anybody tonight, or we're not going to see anybody?
Well, Will Patota's out. We think he may have too much. I don't want to say too much. I know all of our opponents are going to watch the tape. But other than that, we also have a sophomore linebacker out, Peter Hoover, with the concussion. But I expect both those guys to be back for Walker.
All right, one last one. How does it feel to be back between the Pines?
This is, I think the best medicine for us right now is to be at home, to be in front of our student body, our fans out here in Tent City. Get that drum line going and get back out here. And we play very, very good at home, and we're hoping to do that again tonight.
That sounds good.
And Coach Winters' interview there, bringing us into the fourth quarter. Appreciate him giving us some time before the game. And I imagine that he had a few words with his defense here, telling them to get a big defensive stand here as the Titans creep closer and closer to that end zone, cutting it to a two-possession lead. Tries to get to the edge, Cook, and a nice tackle there by number 21, Jack Binkley. And Jack Binkley, nice job holding on just long enough for the rest of the Paladins to get over there and join them.
Just long enough, and it looked like poor Discovery player was the only guy back there, and he had 5 Paladins on him. Tough position for him to be in.
And that's big time there, as makes it 2nd and goal from about the 10-yard line. Discovery looking over to the sideline to get their call. Caleb Cook has come into this game late in the second quarter, early in the third quarter. Really looked nice, helping this offense drive down the field. He's going to throw a quick slant, and just off the hands of the receiver. Looked like it was intended for number 5, Tyshawn Chansey. Good coverage there by Carson Holler.
You saw Carson Holler. He saw the pass, and if he just got another step, could have picked it off even. And so quarterback making some dangerous throws maybe, but maybe more so just the Pinecrest defense doing a great job.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and goal from the 10. This Pinecrest D really would bring a lot of energy, a lot of momentum, and take the wins out of the sail. And we're going to have a little more time to think about it. And while we have a moment, as a certified financial planner, Pinecrest Academy family member Bill Kiernan brings the professional certification that provides peace of mind that you will receive sound advice for your financial planning needs. Bill provides safe money strategies. Whether you're looking to participate in market gains or avoid costly money management fees to grow your wealth, Bill can provide support and guidance. Follow the lead of many of your friends at Pinecrest and call Bill at 678-776-4592 to learn what he can do for you. You can rest assured that following safe money strategies with Bill can provide the asset growth that you desire. And as we come back out of that timeout, looks like it'll be 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Cook. He's got Reynolds in the backfield. Reynolds already has a rushing touchdown, but it's going to be a slant and off the hands of number 14. That was, Tyrek Love. And second time that Discovery players had an opportunity to make a player catching the football and just hasn't completed it.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe if Pinecrest players put some on their gloves or something, but it's just when you get those opportunities and you can't convert, it's almost like it wasn't meant to be, when you get, especially 2 of them like that.
Maybe shouldn't have had so much popcorn before the game.
So much popcorn.
So 4th and goal from the 10 here. Paladins looking to make a stand here early in the fourth quarter. Cook's going to play action, roll to his right. Good pressure. He's going to look downfield, throws it, and incomplete. Big time stand by this Paladin defense as they had 1st and goal from the 3 to start the fourth quarter. Pushed them back 7, made a couple stands, and now this offense has a chance to really milk some clock.
That's what's great about this Pinecrest defense. Coach preaches bend but don't break. You can let them have the field, and you shouldn't, but you can let them have the field, but you can't let them have the end zone. That's a great example there. Way to stop all that momentum. Now you got 28-7. Get your offense back in the field. Run down some clock.
And great pressure there by that Paladins defensive line. And not just that, though. The coverage downfield was great. And as Cook broke contain, nice job by the DBs and linebackers of staying with their guy and not giving Cook anybody to throw to.
Great assignment of football.
So McCarthy under center. Ball's on the 10. It looks like he's going to keep it, try to fit upfield. And looks like just enough guys got a little bit of a hand on him to trip him up. But a nice 4-yard gain to get this drive going and get the ball a little bit further away from that end zone. We saw that safety last week really hurt Pinecrest, so any kind of chunk yards here to get that ball out of your red zone.
Definitely. Very important to get out of this spot. And they're on the 14-yard line now, which seems like the whole field compared to what they had went south had less than a yard.
So McCarthy under center, nobody split out wide. Mangan in tight. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback. Looks like that's 22, Hunter Hawk. He's going to drive forward real close to that first down marker, bringing up a 3rd and about 1. So again, Hunter Hawk getting his name called. The freshman making some plays, getting that momentum going. And that's the thing. It seems like even though he's a freshman, everybody, the seniors, the coaching staff, seems to have a lot of trust in him.
A lot of trust in him, and that makes a point about this team. When you're on this team, you're not a senior, a sophomore, junior, freshman. You're not defined by that. If you can make plays and be a part of the team, they're going to take care of you. And that's how this Pinecrest team works.
And there he is, Hunter Hawk again, putting those shoulders down, driving upfield, carrying a few defenders with him on his way to a first down. And it looks like we're going to have a Titan player down here. And as the officials take a timeout and the coaching staff comes out to check on them, we'll take a quick break with them here on Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. We'll be right back.
Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12th grade Catholic school, and our mission is crystal clear: to form our students into Christian leaders who will transform society. The hallmark of a Pinecrest education is our recognition of each student as a unique child of God with special gifts and talents. We believe that God is calling these young people to lead their families, their businesses, and their communities in accordance with His teachings. We welcome those from all faith backgrounds who value excellent education. Part of our Catholic identity is respect for the inquiry of the human mind. Pinecrest Academy's approach is called integral formation. Through this unique process, we address the whole child, intellectually, humanly, spiritually, and apostolically. We also refer to these as the 4 pillars. One thing that makes Pinecrest unique is that we have gender-separated classes that begin in the 4th grade. Research proves that boys and girls learn differently. In this gender-separate environment, students feel free to explore who they are and develop their full potential. Pinecrest wholly believes that you, the parent, are the primary educator of your child. We wish to work alongside you to form them into the adults that God desires them to be. Thank you for considering our school as a partner in the development of your gifts from God.
Welcome back to Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV. Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12 college preparatory Catholic school. We provide an atmosphere of academic rigor and critical thinking while offering personalized attention in a Christ-centered environment of faith and reason. Call us today at 770-888-4477 to schedule a visit to Pinecrest or visit our website, www.pinecrestacademy.org, to learn more about our award-winning school. And back on the field, it's going to be a 3rd and 1 here for the Paladins as they're looking to drive the length of the field and chew up some clock here in the 4th quarter as it ticks down close to 8 minutes. McCarthy under center. It's going to be a little bit of a counterplay, but Rose is trying to make a man miss. Big time tackle there, running right into the arms of number 55 for Discovery. That was Sheldon Anke. And it looks like they're going to spot him for a first down. So Barozas gets the yards he needs to move the chains. John Paul, what have we seen in the second half? Obviously, only 7 points scored so far, but it seems like Pinecrest has really been in control.
It seems in the second half is really the score, even though it is 28-7, doesn't tell the whole story. The triple option right now is being run. It's like watching poetry in motion. It's just so efficient. You know, first down, first down, first down. That's all you can ask for if you're a coach.
And that play won't be the best example of this, but the last few plays we saw out of Hunter Hawk running the football is they're starting to kind of wear down that Discovery front line. They weren't having a lot of success in the first 2.5, 3 quarters running between the tackles. Now, you know, Hawks busted off a couple 7-8 yard runs, nice long runs. So now the middle of the field opens. The edge has already been open. It seems like the floodgates can really start coming down. Let's see if Ryan McCarthy can do what you said, put pen to paper and make great poetry.
Definitely. And middle of the field, another reason you're looking for the middle of the field right now, the last thing you want to do is run out of bounds. You want to get that clock, chew it up as much as possible.
And on top of that, you know, keeping the ball, you know, no pitches, right? No opportunity for something lost there. Just a quick handoff.
Less room for error. Keep the ball. Keep the clock.
So 6:45 on the clock and running. 3rd and 6 here for the Paladins. Big opportunity to get another first down. Really milk that clock down. Every second ticks. It's just one less snap that Discovery can get off and makes them have to score really quick when they get the ball back. And it looks like Pinecrest isn't going to risk any further yardage, and they're going to go ahead and call a timeout. And while we have a second, John Paul, you know, we talked about in the pregame a 1A school versus 7A school. We saw it last week in South Forsyth, but we see it again here. And a lot of people might think, why do you do that? You know, if you're a 1A school, you know, why do you go play those 7A schools? Test yourself with a 3A or a 4A school. But we talked about in single A, in the single A private league in Georgia, the way they do the playoffs, it's based off a point system, right? So the 16 teams who make the playoffs, they get seeded 1 through 16. So in this point system, you know, you get more points for playing these 7A schools. You get more points for beating these 7A schools. And as you talked about, you get points if those 7A schools are winning other football games.
Exactly. Now if South Forsyth, for every win they get, Pinecrest gets a point. Even for losing to South Forsyth, they got points last game. If they win this game, they get 16 points. It's a big, and almost to play this team that is not as developed and you know that you have a good chance of beating them, it's almost a bargain to get these points for playing a 7A school.
No doubt. 3rd and 6 here. It's going to be Barozas. They're going to pitch it to him down the right side, trying to find a lane. Tries to make a man miss, but a great tackle there on the edge by Afiz Bamadmas. And that'll bring up a 4th down and a punting situation. But again, the clock runs on that play. Stays in bounds. You know, that's probably something the coaching staff talked about. Hey, we're going to try to get to the edge. If you don't have anything, stay in bounds. Let that clock keep running.
That clock running. It's almost a 4-minute drive now. We haven't even gone, what, 40 yards. So big drive. You don't have to be scoring points to have an effect in the game.
Right. And we talked about, you know, that ball control and controlling the clock, and that was a big thing last week, and they weren't very successful in it this week, especially these last 2.5, 3 quarters really have been dominating ball control and time of possession. As McCarthy gets off a nice boot, fair caught all the way down to the ground. Looked like that was number 20, Jack Osteri. And so once again, the Paladin defense is going to come on the field. Haven't given up any points since that first quarter. Had a big time stop down here inside the 10 to force a turnover on downs. So let's see if they can get, you imagine, you know, one more stop really takes the wins out of Discovery's sail and gives you the opportunity to just run that clock out.
One more stop, and you don't have to be on offense to even run the clock down. If you're a defense, keep them in bounds. Keep them in, keep running at the middle.
And keep everything in front of you as well. You know, don't want anybody going behind your behind your head, and they're going to start with a run here to Reynolds. And again, here's what you're talking about. You don't mind that run play because that's going to take 20 seconds. And even if they score here, as long as it's a 3-minute drive, you're in a good spot. What you can't afford is what they had last week, giving up those big 50-plus yard plays that really are backbreakers, and in a situation like this, give Discovery some hope.
Definitely. Pinecrest has a very good chance. A lot has to go right for Discovery at this point.
So Cook in the pistol. Reynolds is behind him. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. It's going to be a handoff, bouncing it to the sideline, cutting it back upfield. Good gang tackling there by the Titans on the carry. It was Twain Reed. Tackled by a host of Paladins, getting up last at the bottom of the pile. And would you expect me to call anybody else's name? It's the freshman, Hunter Hawk.
Hunter Hawk, and just leading that team. We see a lot of swarm tackling from the Paladins in this game. They're just never giving up on the play. People from other sides of the field coming over and making a hit.
So they did move the chains, getting a first down there, but the clock continues to run. Cook looks to the sideline, talking to his running back, making sure everybody's in the right spot. It's Reed behind him, and Cook's going to step up in the pocket, look for some room, tries to throw a little touch pass intended for number 19, Corey Jackson. Good coverage on the play there by Daniel Duke.
That's great cover by Daniel Duke. Quarterback throwing to Duke a lot of this game, and I don't know if he saw Duke get an interception last game, but if he thinks he can thread the needle or get it right over him, go right ahead.
Daniel Duke up for the challenge there. So incomplete pass, stops the clock, 4:23. Cook in the gun. It's going to be a play action. Pressure right in his face. It's Binkley. He makes one man miss, sets his feet, throws deep, passes tipped, and again, interception. Corey Downs, his second of the game, and there's that pressure up front, forcing Cook to just throw the ball up. Downs looking like a big man in basketball, boxing out his receiver, getting possession, and once again, high pointing that football.
Oh, man, and what more could you ask for in defense? You can see on the play, just barely gets it off. Corey Downs, just wide receiver, has no chance at that point. Great play by Corey, and exactly what you want on defense.
Forcing 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and that first one in the first half gave him a short field to work with as time was run down in the second quarter. That's a big one. This one gives you a chance to run the clock out. 4 minutes in the triple option. You get 2 first downs here. You can probably run that clock out. I imagine that the Pinecrest coaching staff has someone on the sideline with their 25-second timer, making sure they're not snapping the ball till under about 5 seconds on that play clock.
Rather doing normally, you would say, oh, you're on the 31-yard line. That's bad field position. But no, this is good field position. You got a ton of field to work with. Run down the clock and send these fans home happy.
28-7, the Paladins lead. It's going to be a handoff to the up back. It's Binkley. He's going to spin a little bit, try to get free. Nowhere to go, but 4 yards, and forces Discovery to use a timeout there. So Discovery just going to try to stay in this game. Any kind of stop is going to give them, a chance. If you can force them to a punt, you feel like you have a chance. You give up that first down, then you're kind of on your heels wondering if you're going to be able to come back.
On your heels, you see the Paladins take a timeout in this game. Probably one of the last timeouts we'll see them take.
So I believe that was actually Discovery, the official, pointed the wrong way first and corrected himself. So I think Discovery called that timeout, tried to save themselves a couple seconds, but 4 yards there, and that's what you want. Every play picking up 3-4 yards, you're going to put yourself in a good spot in this triple attack.
And soon Discovery's going to no timeouts left, and then the game is all but yours.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Haynes Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Foresight, dedicated to all better.
2nd and 6 here for the Paladins. It's going to go right back to Binkley. He's not going to have a lot of room. And Discovery is going to call another timeout as it brings up a 3rd down. And they're a stop away from having another opportunity of getting the ball. And as we look ahead here towards the next few games for both of these teams, for the Paladins, they will be off next week, September 9th, and then they'll be back on the road over in Marietta taking on the Walker School on September 16th. They'll then be on the road again at Mount Pisgah before they head back home at the end of September. Last weekend of September 30th, we'll be back here between the Pines as Pinecrest will host Mount Perrin, and there you see it on your screen. The bye next week, then 2 away games, and then we're back here between the Pines for Mount Perrin, a game that you touched on is a big game from last year.
Definitely an emotional. It always lights up this school the week before. You got guys, I remember hearing stories about people doing things like taking the Pisgah shirt and stepping on it in the locker room and stuff like that. It's an emotional game for the Paladins, and you get into the meat of this schedule, it really shows what your team is made of.
And McCarthy pitches it out to Baroses, makes a man miss. He's going to lower his shoulder. Excuse me, that was number 3, Addison Ale. He's going to be just short at about the 40-yard line. Bringing up a 4th and 1, and here's an interesting decision for Coach Winter. Do you punt it and make them drive the length of the field? Or do you punch it 1 more yard, get that 1st down, run the clock out? And from the looks of things, Coach Winter trusts his offense, trusts his senior quarterback. And they're going to go to the line, 4th and 1. Let's see if they can draw them off sides here. We saw it a couple times last week. Hard snap, getting those A-backs to fake the motion. And McCarthy under center. He's going to keep it. He's going to try to fall forward. And it's going to depend on the spot. He didn't have a lot of room. A nice push by that Discovery defensive line. But again, only about a yard to go. John Paul, do you like that decision to go for it and then just try to end the game right here?
I like the decision a lot. I think you have little to no risk when you're doing it, and you have a lot of confidence in your offense.
And an official timeout, probably a good decision by the officials, with this being, potentially a play that ends the game or could change it and give Discovery a short field to work with and the opportunity to get on the board quick.
Definitely a big call here.
And just looking at Discovery's next 3 games, they'll take on Appalachia next week. Then they'll go to Peachtree Ridge. After that, they'll be home against Collins Hill as they get into the meat of their schedule. As we mentioned, Discovery, a 7A school, playing their first varsity season. As we see there, the Sticks just did get the 1st down. McCarthy, the 6'3 senior, was not going to be denied there. So with 3:08 on the clock, a fresh set of downs here for the Paladins and a real opportunity for them to melt this clock down.
Then again, Discovery hasn't scored since the 1st quarter. So I like the call by Coach Winter to go for it, even though it didn't.
Although it did work out.
It didn't work out.
But you're right, it was close. If it hadn't worked out, it still feels like it would have been the good decision to go for. Your defense is playing well, especially in this second half. McCarthy's going to keep it by the whistle before the play. And it's going to be a false start on the Paladins. So penalties, it was a big point of emphasis. We talked about 9 last week. That 1st quarter, there were a lot of penalties, both teams. Pinecrest hurt themselves. 2nd and 3rd quarter, and most of the 4th, they've been pretty clean with the penalties. It's been more Discovery making the mistakes. In fact, I believe that's the first penalty on Pinecrest all half, maybe one on the far sideline by McCarthy.
And that's one of the side effects of having a offense and a defense that's making big plays. You don't feel the need to get too aggressive and hold a guy or hit after the whistle. There's no need to do it. And you got guys playing fair, playing great, and having fun.
And fun is what the Paladins are having, and hope to have Baroses a little bit of a sketchy, let's call it, pitch by McCarthy. He was getting hit there, I'm sure. Coach Winter would say, hey, just hold on to that football. Let's let that clock run a little more.
And exactly. And the triple option, we've seen all game. Yeah, 1 or 2 plays where you get tackled for a loss, but it's not that big of a deal because as long as you keep rolling and this well-oiled machine that has been this offense in its second through fourth quarter so far, you don't need to worry about a loss like that because it's almost like automatic getting it back.
And that clock continues to run. We're down under 2 minutes here. 2nd and 20 after a penalty and a tackle for loss. McCarthy under center. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to throw an out route right off the hands of Downs. And an interesting decision there to pass the ball. Obviously, if you catch it, it makes it a nice chunk of yards to get back. But with the drop, that does stop the clock. You know, as you mentioned, the defense has been playing so well. Discovery offense has been struggling. Probably not a huge deal, and probably would have been nice to get McCarthy, you know, that completion that he's been looking for all year.
Yeah. And it's a questionable call, but you know, Coach winning 28-7.
Yeah, no.
He knows what he's doing.
Totally,
I would think.
Can't fault him, and as we said, defense, especially in the second half, has been really fun to watch. They've just done a really nice job. And a nice draw play here. A lot of room to the middle of the field. Good block downfield by Downs. And that was Binkley on a great draw play over there. Coach Winter's going to be laughing at us if he watches this. He's going to say, these fools up there criticizing me, and then I run a perfect draw play right after that. So Coach Winter doing a great job setting up the draw play there. And that first down should just about do it as we have 86 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, we see Hunter Hawk making all these plays like Brooks. Brooks like, hey, I can make these plays too. Hey, I can still play. I may run the defense, but I can run the football a little bit.
That's so true. You know, that's just one of those things where I can't let this freshman show me up. Coach, you give me the ball, I'm gonna go make a play.
Now Ryan's got to step it up. He got to complete a pass.
So Binkley with a big run, even with that big cast on his left hand. And, you know, that's something we probably should have touched on earlier, but I imagine that big cast probably affected some of those handoffs that we saw in the first half with that big club, you know, kind of making the pocket for the handoff a little smaller.
Oh, definitely. If you ever had a cast, it's not sticky, it's slippery. So it's got to be hard to hold a football, let alone get a handoff punched in your gut like that. And so,
and with under 30 seconds left, McCarthy will get under center in everybody's favorite formation, the victory formation. That knee will do it as the clock ticks down all the way to 0. The Paladins get their first win of the year, 28-7. Over Discovery, a big win over a 7A school, and as we talked about, those points are going to be really crucial as we get closer and closer to November and playoff time. John Paul, in just a few seconds, you know, what were your thoughts on that game? Obviously, Paladins doing a nice job coming back from a tough loss to get a big win.
I thought this is exactly what the Paladins needed. They didn't win by having a bunch of lucky plays or anything. They played a decent team, a 7A school, and they did it by grinding it out, by running their offense. And if this is normal for the offense, Paladins have a great year ahead of them.
And just to touch on a few stats, Ryan McCarthy had 2 touchdown runs. Carson Holler had 2 himself, including one of a spectacular variety as he just took it 50 yards, outran everybody. And defensively, Corey Downs, 2 big interceptions, one of them to set up a short field in the second quarter as the Paladins punched it in. Again, as a reminder, the Paladins are off next week. We'll be back here on Pinecrest Academy Football presented by SUV TV September 16th for a 7:30 kickoff. That game will pit the Paladins versus the Walker Wolverines. And we'll be back here between the Pines the last weekend in September. And until then, until 2 Fridays away, enjoy some college football, enjoy some Friday Night Lights. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Ned Case alongside John Paul Hoover. Have yourself a spectacular Labor Day weekend.